Live from the Toad Hop Network studios.
In Hollywood, this is the ToadHopNetwork.com.
It is strongly addictive.
Radio worth watching.
Radio worth watching.
That is timing galore. Holy crap, kind of. The mics are a disaster. I don't know what's going on here, but it doesn't matter. It's the Schmoes Know Podcast on the Toad Hop Network. It's me, myself, Kristian Harloff, and...
I am Mark Ellis.
You are.
Man, what a drama we walked into today. I feel like I'm in the beginning of an Aaron Sorkin show because everything came together right away. Katee comes in scrambling the last 10 seconds, and now we finally have our podcast up and running. Let's talk, kids.
Let's do it. Well, we're welcoming back the strawberry blonde Katee Sackhoff. Or actually, it's more blonde. It's blonde now. So you're getting back to...
It's like a...
I know what color it is. That is
that.
Autumn Sunrise. Thank you.
Thank you.
That was impressive.
Mm-hmm.
It was.
I've been studying you a lot over the last 2 weeks.
That's creepy.
Good to be back, isn't it, Katee?
Yeah, it is. It's nice to be back.
What are you talking about? I haven't left.
Yeah, you haven't left.
I've been holding the fort down for many, many weeks. You guys take your little vacations, do what you have to do, have careers. I am going to be with Ken Napzok doing nothing.
Oh, you're not drinking.
Well, I want you to have the cold Coors Light. You know,
is that all we have? Yes, we're
Silver
drinking.
Bullet,
yes,
yeah.
we're back.
I brought them with me.
You're going to have some iced tea,
you did.
kids.
I averted tragedy just in case.
Is the keg out?
I don't know.
No keg? Oh, it doesn't matter. We'll figure it out.
There's cold beer. Let's not question it.
All right, doesn't matter. All right, so we are, cheers to welcome back, Ellis.
Welcome back, everybody.
Iced tea, lame-o.
Yeah.
All right, guys, so it is the Schmoes Know Podcast. As always, you tweet us in at Schmoes Know, at Katee Sackhoff. We're going to be talking about a whole bunch of cool stuff today. We have movie news. We have a lot of news stories that came out that we have to talk about, some rumors that are going around, some movies that Mark and I saw, some stuff coming out.
Breaking news.
Yeah, well, let's wait.
And then we have a big special guest coming up in hour 2.
That to me is one of my favorite things because we're going to have the wrestling legend, Rowdy Roddy Piper, for the second half of the show. And we're all smiling like little kids because, have you ever met Roddy?
No.
Oh, he's such a nice guy.
I know him.
He's such a nice guy, but nobody plays a more intimidating Scottish bagpipe than Mr. Roddy Piper.
Oh man, I've been doing his. He has a podcast, the Rod Pod, that I've been co-hosting with him, and he's just the nicest guy. He's really cool, and he wants to come on. He's going to talk Bond movies with us, and we're going to talk about some Bond movies and stuff. But it's talking to Schmoville, doing the stuff, and we're going to talk news in a little bit here.
Don't tell Roddy this, but I never knew who he was when I was a kid. I actually became friends with him through like the stand-up world because he would go on stage and tell wrestling stories around the clubs, and so we just kind of hang out after the shows. Yeah. And I worked with his daughter on a project a couple of years ago.
That's really cool.
And but I never knew that he was a wrestler until Steve Simone, our good buddy, brought it up to me, and I'm like, oh, cool.
And the first time I met him, I was going out of my mind. I was a huge wrestling fan.
Yeah.
Question though, how funny are wrestling stories? Like, are they like? Is there a lot of like funny?
I'll tell you, I know that Kristian would like it because he grew up watching wrestling.
Right.
I didn't like wrestling. I preferred sports that were actually real when I was a kid.
Tell him that. Tell him that when he's here. Tell him that.
I've told him that before.
I tell Josh Burnett that all the time. It's fine.
Yeah, but MMA is real.
No, but he also fights in Japan.
It's wrestling.
Sorry.
Wrestling.
You guys, fake. You're making me sad.
There's a reason why Kristian used to work for a wrestling for the WWE is because he was writing the scripts that they used to wrestle. But anyway, Roddy's stories are fantastic. He's on the road in all these different places all across the world with like Andre the Giant and getting into trouble, and it's really a lot. It's like listening to like Bon Jovi's road stories.
He's been stabbed like 13 times.
Really? Yeah. I've only been stabbed once.
Have you really?
No.
Oh, all right.
Not yet.
Not yet. But anyway, all right, so we're going to talk to Roddy about a bunch of stuff. And one of the things, I want to surprise him, by the way, Schmoville, and I want you guys to do this. We're going to make a big petition to, I know we're definitely going to do Tweet a Celebrity Day, but we're also going to do another one.
We're doing petition a celebrity?
We're going to tweet Sylvester Stallone about petitioning Roddy to be in Expendables 3.
I like where this is going. Schmoville, get your thumbs ready.
Yeah, get your thumbs ready. And we'll do it when Roddy's on the show.
Trisha Helfer dated him. We brought that up last time.
Roddy Piper?
No,
Stallone. I know. When she was like 17. That naughty Stallone. We're talking
like him young. You can't date a girl that young, Rock. She's not right for you.
She'll tell you tomorrow, Rock.
Could you imagine him calling the house as a father, being like, "Oh my God, help me"?
Oh my God! Rocky's coming to pick up my daughter.
Yeah.
Like, at that time though, it's like fine.
What if Stallone shows up and it talks to your place and he's like, "I'm here to take your daughter to the prom"?
Could you imagine if she'd taken him to prom? It would have been amazing. Amazing.
Yeah.
What's all this music the kids are listening to?
All right, let's try to get some order on this thing, like we always try to do. Now, what we've been doing every week, we have our producer Ken Napzok.
Yeah, who are all these people,
at
Kristian?
Cosplay. It's like a real show here, and what Ken's been doing every week, it's kind of leading us into something. This is the Ken Napzok news, and we're about to. Jeff the engineer will cue up. Here we go, and here he is. Here's this disgusting thing that he does.
I'm Katee Sackhoff, and these are your Schmoes Know headlines. It's been over 1 week since the big Disney Lucasfilm news rocked the world, but the speculation of what Episode 7 and beyond will be and who will make it is still dominating the internet. Rumors are flying around like Adrian Curry's clothes at a Comic-Con, and many of the rumors point to Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford, and Carrie Fisher all being interested and upbeat about appearing in the new trilogy in some form, wrinkles and all. A popular rumor theorizes that Episode 7 will center around Luke Skywalker starting up a new Jedi Order, but you know what they say about rumors. They aren't true until your publicist picks you up from rehab. And breaking today, not quite confirmed, but it looks as though the writer of Toy Story 3 has been hired to...
And Hunger Games 2. Hunger Games 2.
And Hunger Games to write the script for Episode 7, a 40 to 50-page extended outline reportedly turned in well before this Disney Lucasfilm deal was announced. And keeping in the Star Wars speculation universe, could Kristian Harloff have been right? Is Matthew Vaughn, the director of Kick-Ass, Stardust, and X-Men First Class, ready to take the director's chair for Episode 7? The website Collider ran with that story this week, citing sources deep inside the Star Wars empire that point to signs that Vaughn is in talks to direct and that this may have been the reason behind his sudden departure of X-Men Days of Future Past. If this does end up being true, Kristian Harloff has vowed to go to the premiere of Episode 7 dressed as Shia LaBeouf in Indiana Jones 4.
He's totally cute. I would Kristen
Shia
Stewart him.
LaBeouf?
Yeah.
No, the director.
Oh, okay. That's Shia LaBeouf.
Well, he's 5'2", right?
His hair is ridiculous. Look at this.
Sorry, we're interrupting you.
He's cute.
Go for
sorry.
it.
Who is this?
Sorry.
Who's
That was my
Continue.
intention. Back in our world, according to Sly Stallone, the Nick Cage and Expendables 3 reports are wrong. Stallone claims that the news came from an old quote taken out of context in which Stallone had been asked who he would like to see in Expendables 3. All clear? Good. So now Nick Cage needs to find another movie to appear in this week. It's Thursday. He hasn't shot one yet. Anyone? Following the tragic suicide of Tony Scott, it now seems as if the Top Gun sequel is off. Report from New York Times saying Tom Cruise did not wish to continue on the project without Tony Scott involved. So you'll never know what happened to Maverick, but rest assured the Top Gun 3D re-release is still on target for February 2013.
News just in, Disney bought it. It's back on.
So you'll get to enjoy all the homoerotic undertones a beach volleyball game has to offer inches from your face.
Later with the boys.
Mortal Kombat will be rebooted.
Mortal Kombat!
Warner Brothers executive Lance Sloan confirmed that a reboot of the popular video game franchise is afoot. He then kicked me in the face, stood over me, and said friendship as he handed me a stuffed teddy bear. Earlier today, World War Z trailer hit the screens, and everyone is up in arms. Is it like the book? Is it far from the book? Fans are chiming in, but yet the zombie thriller starring Brad Pitt.
Spit it out, man.
Hey.
Starring Brad Pitt, based on the Max.
Right.
Yeah.
Fine.
Traffic was bad. I can't talk.
I quit. It's out, coming out this year. And also breaking late, Mark Wahlberg apparently announced for Transformers 4.
All right. All right. A lot of stuff.
I'm Katee Sackhoff. That's your Schmoes
Lot
Know
to
headlines.
talk
Thank you,
about.
Kenny.
Thank
At Schmoes Know, tweet us in and let us know out of those stories. What are your thoughts on them, guys?
It's a lot to digest.
Let's get some of the Star Wars stuff out of the way quick because we talked about it last week.
I missed it.
Matthew Vaughn, again, rumored.
Yes, I did too.
Matthew Vaughn rumored to be directing this thing. It makes a little more sense now why he dropped out of the sequel to X-Men First Class.
Right.
So it's very possible. Some people, I know we've had a couple tweets in that said, "Oh, I don't think he's right, and it's going to be a CGI fest." I don't agree. I don't think X-Men First Class was a CGI fest by any means.
Can we just talk about the last three and then say, could it get worse?
Last three. Oh, exactly.
It's a good point.
It's got to be better than the prequels.
And not worse
You're
as
right.
movies, worse as special effects.
Right.
That.
Yeah, absolutely
It can't
right.
get worse. I mean, that's all it was.
Yeah,
So,
that's
come on.
that's the point that I don't understand people making about the Disney buying it and they're going to make more movies. They're going to ruin my childhood. It's like no. We had a great childhood and we had our bad, awkward teenage years with the prequels. Now we're ready to accept it again.
Yeah, and then we have the writer Josh, who's the writer for of Toy Story 3?
Toy Story 3 and Hunger Games. That's really exciting stuff,
Hunger
man.
Games
And
2.
so far of a difference, by the way.
Is it though?
Toy Story to
and Hunger Games. You're right. Between those two, I thought you meant, and right in the middle is Star Wars.
Right.
Right.
Well,
So,
Hunger Games that's the.
Yeah,
but
I'm basing the novels. The way that the movie is, then it's more. It's more.
Toy
fluffy.
Story 3 was a movie that I gave it 5 out of 5.
Michael Arndt.
It was dark.
I
That
really,
was some dark
it took you
shit.
to some weird places. That bear was really
very
creepy.
weird.
Yeah.
It was a
Totally
great
weird.
villain,
Totally
and
weird.
it was. You know what that movie? The end of the movie, it's like the kid. He ends up taking one of his toys to college with him.
Yeah.
Because
Right.
he shoves it up his ass.
That's
every
right.
day.
Look at you,
Katee
We're back.
Sackhoff.
Katie
Ann Sackhoff.
He
Unbelievable.
grabbed Ken on the way out the door.
All right. Okay.
Is that what you used a Ken doll for it in college?
Let's get a call from Schmoeville.
Wow.
All right.
I didn't go to college. I brought it straight to
It's
California.
only on that ship, Starbuck.
Hey, you're in Schmoeville. Who do we got? Nobody. All right. See you later. Good
effort.
Let's
Good
try again.
effort.
Let's try again. Hey, you're in Schmoeville. Who do we got?
Hey, this is Mike from Olympia.
What's up, Mike? So, what are your feelings on the possibility of Matthew Vaughn as director of Episode 7?
Well, I think it's a great idea for Matthew Vaughn to direct Episode 7, just because I love the way he's directed his past films. I love Kick-Ass. I love X-Men First Class. And, I think his approach towards X-Men First Class is, so perfect that I think maybe he can make this new Star Wars film just a great start to a new trilogy.
Totally agree.
I
Thank you
agree,
so
too.
much. Yeah, and that's the thing is he's a fan, and that's what we need. So, all right, another thing with Disney, by the way, they own Star Wars now. But is it official? Have they bought Hasbro? I know it's not official yet. Hasbro's denying it. Hasbro is denying the fact. Okay, well,
that's just because they want more money. It's a tactic.
Yeah.
right. Well, but the fact of the matter is they have their hands in the pot.
We'll be talking about the acquisition of Hasbro
Yeah.
by Disney next week on the podcast, so make sure you tune into that.
Isn't that just like Battleship too?
No, you got Transformers. You have G.I.
What's
Joe.
Hasbro?
Hasbro's like
owns
a
the
toy
toys,
company.
the toys.
I know
Yeah.
it's a toy company, but wasn't Battleship part of that?
Part of it, yeah.
Okay.
But you have now.
I didn't realize all that. I mean, I should have known.
It's got everything. But I mean,
Don't fault Hasbro for Liam Neeson not being in Battleship enough. It's not their fault.
It
He
is
should
their
have been in
fault
it
that
more.
Michael Bay has directed all these movies, and this is the
Yeah,
thing. I thought we were when we lost Shia LaBeoute, we were losing Michael Bay, but we're not obviously.
So Michael Bay's still directing Transformers
Yeah.
4, but now we have Mark Wahlberg in there, who's a legitimate action star. I like the dude.
I would much rather watch him in this movie.
100% of the day. Yeah, I mean, Mark Wahlberg is women love him, men love him because you actually believe. Like, this is a kid that grew up on the streets of, Boston. Like, you believe that he can kick any guy's ass. So
And I
it makes
believe
sense.
also that I would much rather, if you're going to have slow motion explosions all around somebody, I'd rather be Wahlberg than Shia LaBeouf.
What happened
Me
to
too, 'cause he
LaBeouf's
has
character at the end of Transformers 3? Did he die? Did he?
No,
he survived.
He was
Obviously,
screaming at something.
Yeah, but are we gonna kill him off, or are we just gonna say, oh,
We
he's
should.
living the quiet life up in Valencia?
I have no idea what even happened to him.
He
at the end.
manages at TGI Fridays in Arizona somewhere, so he's no
Right.
longer involved in the Transformers universe at all.
He and Bumblebee work at some drive-in
Yeah,
movie
so-
theaters.
well,
and
let's-
shit.
They work at Sonic
Let's
together.
see how Schmoeville feels about it. Hey, you're in Schmoeville. Who do we got?
Oh my god, hi. This is Meg from the Stalker from Facebook.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
How are you? So,
Hi.
do you have any opinions on Mark Wahlberg and the Transformers franchise?
Well, I have to admit, I'm not a huge fan of Mark Wahlberg, but I mean, if he can pull it off, he can pull it off. I think the whole series kind of needs a reboot because, as much as I love it, Shia LaBeouf, Louis Stevens can't really carry a fourth movie, in my opinion.
Right.
All right,
And
I
he
agree.
can't carry a wallet. That guy is getting robbed.
Hey, Megan,
Well,
do
he
us.
is a cannibal.
That's very, very good. Megan, say hi to Katie real quick.
Hi, Katie. I'm your biggest fan. I love you so much.
Hi, Megan. How are you? I see your tweets
I'm really
all the
good.
time.
Oh my god, I'm like I'm gonna pass out right now.
Don't pass out. Are you driving? That would be really bad.
That'd be weird.
Josh the
No.
Intern, get in the car.
Yeah, we're gonna send
Megan
Josh
just
the
passed
Intern
out.
over.
He's going to bring beer. So if you're driving, it's even better.
Megan, thank you so much for the call, and thank you for being a fan. And please keep on calling in, and maybe you can be a regular caller, and you can keep saying hi to Katie.
I will definitely do that. Bye.
right.
Thanks for calling in, Megan.
Reach
Bye.
for the stars, kids. Maybe one day you can be a regular caller on the Schmoes podcast.
Hey, we got
And you
Georgie,
can talk to
we
Katie.
got Josh the Intern, we have Katie, we have me, we got you, simpleton. So
The name is Ellis, Mark Ellis.
Oh,
Look at you.
Look at that
Is it shaken
transition.
or
Not yet.
stirred?
Not yet.
Hello.
We're getting to
Oh, is
Bond
it
a little
too
bit.
early?
No, too early. But there's a lot. I mean, again, there's
Did you see our Bond review, Katie?
No.
I'd pull off a three-piece.
The last review Katie has seen of ours was the one she was in, which was about 4 years ago. We bullshit. She didn't even know we were doing this show anymore.
Kristian actually asked me the other day if he wanted me to review Riddick if it was horrible. Then, by all means, please tear it a new asshole if it's horrible.
I said we're never gonna lie. I said if we see the movie and it sucks, we're gonna say it sucks. I said, but if you would rather, if it's terrible and you don't want us to see it, we'll take the dodge because of you. And she's like, no, see it. I was like, so we're gonna see it.
All right, we'll see it.
We'll see it.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Look at.
So
Hey,
don't
listen,
suck.
Showing my breast should get at least 1 star.
We just got
Or one
75
schmo.
tweets.
It should get 1 schmo.
Okay,
At
well,
least.
Because
One
it's
schmo.
only one breast. That was
For
a
this
singular
breast,
term. That's
exactly.
right.
And was it nip or no nip? I forget.
Yes, it was nip.
Okay, good.
I've always been a left breast kind of man. You know,
And it is.
some guys say I'm an ass man, I'm a tit man. I get even more specific. I'm a left tit man.
Left nip
And
tit
just
man.
right to
The left nip man, yeah.
Yeah.
That's your new song. Is
Here's
the
the
left tit nip.
left side boob.
Yeah, perfect. Well, now no one in Schmoville is listening to anything we're saying anymore because they can't wait until see the nip. All right, Josh McCougar tweets in, where have you been? Megan sounded a lot like when Mark met the Wake Forest mascot last month. He commissioned a canvas painting of the meeting.
That's
Josh
right.
McCougar firing one out.
Leroy Neiman working on me and the Demon Deacon, hanging out, high-fiving.
Pretty fantastic.
It's good. Again, we have a whole crew here. We have Josh the Intern, we have Kenny Napzok, we have Jeff the Engineer. We have a whole crew that's making the show so much fun. And you guys have been so great out there out in Schmoville. And do us a favor, too. We haven't been talking about this in iTunes. Make sure you rate and comment in there. It helps out get the show.
Yeah.
And share it to your friends if you like the show. Let them know. Post it on their Facebook and stuff like that because it'll boost the number up and we'll get more of these shows out there for all you guys. So what else we got? Kenny, you talked about the World War Z trailer. Now I'll tell you what, I saw this trailer today. You guys didn't see it, right?
No, Brad Pitt's in the movie, right?
Did you guys see his cologne ad?
Yeah, it's horrendous.
To just take a second we should take a moment of silence for the death of that.
Oh, is it one of these? Is it one of these foreign ones that they do, like celebrities go
He
overseas?
literally is like,
It's not good.
being me
Yeah,
is hard.
It's like who told?
And I am a god.
Now, if
I mean, like,
Man.
now, if that's something your agents and manager advise you thoroughly not to do, it's that.
Right?
So now we have someone else on the phone from Schmoville. Who do we got?
Hey, it's Chris Stuckman.
Hey, Chris, what's up, dude? So, hey, did you see the World War Z trailer today?
You mean the Suckfest?
Yeah. Okay, good.
Suckfest
We're on this.
horrible
Yeah.
trailer?
Yeah. See, he's taking a super. I'm glad that he called in. Perfect timing, actually.
How do you
because-
feel about the trailer, Chris?
Well, let me tell you my thoughts.
I like the fact that he called it a suckfest.
It is because and I don't. And Chris, you after I'm done, you tell me what you thought of it. I when it started out, it starts out and they're in the car. I'm like, oh, okay, this could be cool. I didn't know anything about the comic or anything too, and I see it open up, and then this little scene. It kind of looks like an Independence Day thing happening. And then it just turns into this CGI shitfest, and zombies are running around. I guess they learned how to use treadmills. I don't know what they're doing, but they're flying around super fast. This big wave of an ocean of zombies. It looks so fake and so stupid. It's so bright. It doesn't look like post-apocalyptic at all.
Well, it's tough to follow Walking Dead, and I've never been as big of a fan of zombies that have gym memberships as I am of the old school zombies. The ones that don't know how to PED and work out, the ones who just kind of stumble around. Those are the zombies that I like seeing.
I always wondered, though, how they walk so slow, but when they start biting, all of a
Fast as
sudden
jaw.
it's like crack cocaine,
Right.
and they speed up.
Because they smell it. Carl Jung did a whole study on this in the turn of the
Really?
century.
Well,
yeah.
Chris,
Good
what-
movie about it.
Fantastic.
What did you think about the show, Chris? I mean, the trailer, Chris.
I got a real I Am Legend vibe. Like, it just felt like CGI, overload and no real fear. Like, are you really afraid of like this tumbling pile of CGI zombies? And you can even see in the trailer that Brad Pitt doesn't even look like he wants to be there. And I'm sure you guys followed all the news stories about how all the production problems with him and Mark Forster not getting along and stuff. And you really feel it, like, even in the trailer, which is sad because that's like what they're trying to sell the movie with, and it just doesn't work.
Yeah, and it looks also what didn't work is the fact that they didn't stick to the. Did you read the novel, Josh? Just stick your mug in that thing.
No, I didn't read it. The trailer looks okay to me. I mean, I'm not a big fan of Mark Foster, especially after we do
Quantum Solace.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
he's not good. And he also, what else did he do? He did something. He did what else? He did something else that I didn't love.
Okay, he did Finding Neverland, which was okay.
It was okay. And Monsters Ball, which we remember because you saw Billy Bob Thornton's balls and Halle Berry.
If you saw that, Kristian, if you came away from that scene,
I know where you're going, but come on, I was going with the damn word association. Anyway, so yeah, Chris, we're on the same page. I think that thing reeks, and it looks too bright, and they've learned nothing from Walking Dead. Like it's simple stuff.
Is it a summer picture? Is it coming out next summer? Okay, summer, at least Brad Pitt smells good.
Well, Chris, thanks for the call. Always great talking to you, man.
Number 5.
No problem. You guilted me into it.
I did. I said,
yeah, you were like, you never call in anymore.
It's the truth. It's truth. Well, good. I'm glad you called in because you're the only other person that saw the review. So great timing. Or trailer.
No problem.
Thank you, buddy.
Yeah. Cool. So, what else?
You're just guilting people into calling in now.
It worked out.
I'm totally going to watch the trailer during our first break.
Can we? Where are we at, Kenny? What am I supposed to do here? We have. Okay. So what we normally do here, we've been doing this thing every the last 4 or 5 weeks. Jeff, the engineer, you ready for it? Okay.
Tweet a celebrity.
That's right. It's Tweet a Celebrity. David Wayne, actually, by the way, wrote back to somebody and said, fine, he'll do it.
Yeah.
Haven't heard from him since. So we got close.
Maybe it's because you need to be a little nicer to these celebrities when you haven't heard them. Because I saw when you pulled his name out of Hellish, you're like, David, who the hell's David Wayne? Maybe you act like you want him on the podcast.
Well, I did. When I realized who it was, I was like, oh, yeah, because McCool's dancing around in his shorts. I was like, what the hell is this guy doing?
There was a lot of stuff going on in the studio.
Yeah,
I give you credit
chaotic.
for that. But if you pull a name, assume it's a good name and not some child molester. Like, why do we want this guy?
No, he's great. The guy's a great director.
I'm a huge fan of his from as far
too.
back as when he was on the show The State from MTV. He's hilarious. We need to have him on the podcast.
All right.
Thank you, Schmoeville, for taking care of that for me.
Actually, kind of funny. At Scott Tommaso, smell like Brad Pitt. No thanks. I know where Angelina Jolie has been. Didn't Bob have cologne too? I'm sure Ken knows. All right. Anyway, that's the first half of the Schmoes Know podcast. We'll be back talking a little bit of Bond, a little more stories. Find out if Katie's headache has gone away really soon. See you later.
Classless whore.
Hello, filthy hobbitses. Gollum. You are listening to the Schmoes Know Podcast and the Toad Hop Network. Precious. Kristian and Mark may know movies, but they're wicked, tricksy foes. And now, back to the masters.
Is that fantastic?
Who the hell is that? Is that?
No, it's not Andy Serkis, but it sounds just like him. I, you know what? I'm going to. I didn't realize they were playing it right now, and it was my fault.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring up the guy's name. He's a fan on Facebook, and he sent us this thing. I was blown away by his impression. I said, "Can you do a Gollum thing for us?" He did that within seconds. It's amazing. Katie's mic isn't on.
That is fantastic. God.
Exactly. Mark's like, that's fantastic.
But how good is that?
Hear Gollum call me master. It's just there's something special about that. Now I finally feel dominant to a species.
His name is Morten Solberg, and
thank you, Mort.
Yeah, and he's going to do a whole bunch of those for us.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, yeah, he that was a lot of fun, and his YouTube channel, if you want to check out his amazing where the hell is it? Morten Trailer Guide. MortenTrailerGui. Check him out.
Very cool.
Okay,
Very
so
cool.
we're gonna start with Tweet the Celebrity, Ken. Oh no, we're gonna do sponsor first. Sorry.
Yeah.
Let's not do sponsor first. Let's do something else. Because last week we did Box Office Sunday. You weren't able to do this, so why don't you tell the kids about about the gift?
I was out of town last week doing stand-up comedy. Speaking of stand-up comedy, you may have to wait 11 months to see Katee Sackhoff's left nipple, but you can get my CD, ladies and gentlemen. It comes out this Tuesday. I've been so excited about this. It's finally available everywhere this Tuesday, November 13th. You can get to the castle, my stand-up comedy CD, feature-length headlining set. Thank you very much. It is comes out this Tuesday, Kristian, is when you can get it. You can get it on iTunes. You can go to the Rooftop Comedy website, and they will actually, if you write in Schmoes Know, you get 15% off.
Right.
So that's kind of cool. Yeah. Or you can pick it up Spotify Rhapsody. You can listen to it on Pandora right now, or you can go to Amazon, Kristian.
You know, I've listened to. I don't want to tell you this. I've actually listened to some of it on Pandora. I have the station on my phone.
God, you have done in 2 days more with the iPhone than I have in 6 months with this damn thing.
I love this thing. But actually, Mark's CD is really funny, and you guys should definitely check it out when it comes out. And make sure you buy it on Amazon. And all those things he told you to do, you just buy it on Amazon. You buy it on Amazon on our link, on our Toad Hop link. You see the video underneath. There's the Amazon link. You click that stupid thing, and then you help the show out. It doesn't cost you anything extra. It's just that's where you go to do your Amazon
Breeze would
stuff.
buy that really fast. You go to the Schmoes Toad Hop page, and that's where the Amazon banner is. So you click on that, right?
Yes.
It's like you're going to listen to a live podcast, but you watch a repeat, and you get to buy some shit. So.
That's right. Well, at Gotham Knight 39 says Universal should be paying Schmoes Know, Katee Sackhoff, and Toad Hop Network for promoting Riddick. Yeah, it's the truth. I'll tell you what, though. Do us a favor, Gotham Knight. Tweet Universal that as well, and let them know. Okay, so let's do tweet a celebrity. Here's how this works, guys. So we're going to write down our celebrities that we want you guys to tweet, and then once we do, you guys listen. You tweet the hell out of this person and tell them, hey, you should be on the Schmoes Know Podcast, and then hashtag it this time with Schmoes Know Podcast. All right, so do we have...
We live in a world where every random thought counts, and even powerful people have a Twitter account. It's time to tweet a celebrity.
So much talent surrounding Schmoville. So little of it bestowed upon the two guys running the show.
Awkwardtunity, who does that tune, check her out as well. She's so awesome. We're going to try to see if she'll do a Josh the Intern song. We'll see if that happens. But all right, so does everybody write down their... do we have the cards, guys? No? Yes?
The cards are coming.
It's chaos is what it is. So, let's... here's our cards. We need pens. In the meantime, let's talk about the movie, a couple of the movies coming out this week, Mark.
That we've already seen. We're not going to give away any spoilers.
No
Don't
spoilers.
worry.
I'm so excited to see a few of them.
Yeah, listen, if you guys want to check out our review on both of these movies we're about to talk about, and that would be youtube.com/schmoesknow, and you guys can check that out. We're talking about both the new Skyfall movie as well as Lincoln, which we saw last night. What's that? What happened? What's wrong? What is going on? I'm so
There's a lot of pantomiming.
Waving.
Josh the Intern and Kenny Napzok are playing charades. Just tell them what kind of Diet Coke you want.
And Mark's giving blowjobs. I don't understand what's going on.
What is going on?
I will do anything to get some FaceTime on this podcast.
This is definitely. I'm very confused.
We got to see Lincoln last night,
yeah.
And then Skyfall the night before. And Kristian, I'm kind of on a rampage right now with my schmoing. I gave Wreck-It Ralph 5 out of 5 schmoes a few weeks ago. I gave Skyfall 4.5 out of 5 schmoes. Last night, I gave Lincoln 5 out of 5 schmoes.
God, it makes me so
my
happy.
highest award.
I gave it 4 out of 5, and I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing, Katie, going into this movie, that whether you know it or don't, Lincoln, for those of you who want to see it, know that it is not about Abraham Lincoln rising to power.
I know nothing about history anyway.
Well, fine, but you might still want to know certain things about it that you'd be curious because you don't know history. You might say, well, I want to know how he did this. It's just about how
there's no log cabin in Kentucky.
Nope.
There's no vampire killing.
Nope.
It literally starts in January of 1865 and it ends in the summer of 1865.
And the apple tree was Washington, right?
Yeah.
I'm just
Very good.
checking if I have my history correct.
Oh, right. And we saw.
So James Bond wears a tuxedo.
Yes, but anyway, the film is more about how he got the 13th Amendment passed, and how he was able to abolish slavery, and it literally is about all the lead up and how the Republican Party and the Democrats are going head to head. They need a certain amount of Democrats to vote for it, and it could stop the war if they do. It's just this whole. It's 2.5 hours. You have to be invested. It's very talky. It's not a lot of war.
Just sneaking alcohol. Is what you're saying.
Maybe.
Okay.
But sneaking alcohol, man. I was riveted by this thing. It's like going to the theater and watching a play, which didn't work out for Abraham so much. It's like watching a stage play because there's all these intimate moments in different rooms and arguing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I was riveted the whole time.
I liked it.
How was Joseph Gordon-Levitt? I was so surprised to see him in this cast. Actually,
he's good. He's in it enough. He plays Abraham Lincoln's older son,
right?
And he's good. It's
but if you could have gotten somebody at half the price of Jogo, you could have gotten him.
We could have, yeah. I mean, he's great. He's not bad. It's just
it's fine.
It's just the fact that it's. Obviously, and we said this in the review, it's Daniel Day-Lewis. The thing is, you take him for granted at this point because he's so amazing.
He's so amazing.
And it's like, you think, oh my God, Abraham Lincoln is playing himself. And then, but it's Tommy Lee Jones.
He's in that movie.
He is getting nominated for this movie.
Huh.
He is
Daniel Day-Lewis is getting nominated, and he'll show up to the ceremony as Abe Lincoln.
He would have gotten nominated just when he took the role. People didn't even need to see it. They were like Last of the Mohicans, left-footed. He don't even care.
He blends into this movie as Abe so much. When Kristian's walking out of the theater, he said, Tommy Lee Jones is best in the movie. I'm like, hey, dummy, you remember the guy that played the president?
Yeah. All right, well, anyway, we got someone on the line here. Hey, you're in Schmoeville. Who do we got?
Hey, dudes. Sean here.
Hey, Sean. What's up, man? Hey, turn your computer down a little bit, bud.
Oh, sure.
No worries.
And then get $5 and send it to
and send it to schmoesknow.com. What's up, man? What do you got?
My question is about James Bond and more specifically Skyfall.
Yeah, shoot.
Now, I wanted to know what your guys' favorite Bond film and Bond actor, what your favorite Bond film and Bond actor are.
Okay.
I love Skyfall. I saw it early, and it is easily in my top 5. But I still prefer Goldfinger and From Russia with Love and Sean Connery. Don't get me wrong, Daniel Craig is awesome, but he isn't my favorite 007 just yet. So here's the thing. James Bond can obviously work using the Dark Knight formula, where it's darker, badder, and grittier. But I still feel as if the 60s Bond can never be outdone. They're classics. What are your thoughts?
Thank you, Sean.
That was fantastic.
It's a great question, John.
This is
well
again
thought out.
the talent surrounding Schmoeville.
That's Aminalli, man. That's the Sean Aminalli.
Does he hate me, by the way?
I don't think so.
Okay, he's
Why?
because I always get these weird tweets, and it's
He
like,
likes you.
"Hey, Harloff, you're awesome, Ellis." Okay.
Well, you say stupid things.
I do
all
say
right.
a lot of stupid things.
Well,
That was a great question,
Yeah,
Sean.
hold
And-
Sean. Can we hold the Bond stuff because we're going to get into it?
Fine,
We're going to
yeah.
get into all the Bond. So just remember Sean's question.
Hey,
We're
Sean,
definitely
remember
getting
that
into
I wanted to answer your question right away.
and remember that I want to elaborate on it. Okay,
And remember that I'm still trying to figure out who Lincoln was.
Okay.
all right, let's do this up. Hey, Josh, where's Josh at? He's taking a dump?
He's running
Yeah.
an errand for
He's
our
buying
fourth Monday.
tacos.
Oh, okay.
I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll do the tweet a celebrity in a minute, but right now, in the spirit of Abe Lincoln, here's what we're going to do. I want to give away one of these CDs right now. Okay?
Oh, all right.
So I'm going to ask all of Schmoeville. I want you guys to pay close attention because Katie won't get this right. Kristian might, Kenny might, Jeff might.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you an Abraham Lincoln trivia question.
All right.
Whoever tweets in the correct answer first
okay.
will get Mark Ellis Get to the Castle before
All right.
it comes out this
All right.
Tuesday.
Okay,
Scary to
What's
tweet.
the question?
Very sad day in our nation's past, the night that Abraham Lincoln was assassinated by John Wilkes Booth. What play was
Grease.
Abraham Lincoln?
No, it's not Grease. Not Grease. I know it too.
Book of Mormon.
No.
You know the answer?
Yeah. I can't say it because
Okay.
we're going to fucking give
All
away
right,
the
yeah,
answer.
whoever tweets that in first, the correct
right,
answer.
I might actually know
We got,
this.
all right, so the ansor, one of the answers,
Sackoff's funny.
our American cousin,
Very good.
goes to Sean Aminelli.
Sean Aminelli.
he was sitting by waiting. Sean Aminelli, who hates your guts, is now getting your...
He's getting your CD.
Sean, you're going to be sitting there really pissed off for 55 minutes, man.
All right, let's do tweet a celebrity here because now Schmoeville has to go bananas on somebody.
Well done, Sean.
All right, let's have the papers. Give me the papers.
There
Jeff,
you go.
Jeff, the engineer, you got yours? You got it. We only have 3? That's all we're doing? The 3 of us? What's going on? Where's
I
yours?
was busy doing some work here, man.
What is wrong with you?
That's like releasing half a
3 of us?
There's
Half
a hat.
load.
Do that
Look at
often, too.
As always, you may not like mine.
Unbelievable. Kenny, what are you doing over there? How are you?
I'm good. We got some issues.
You almost got upset there, and then you realized that it was an upsetting question.
Yeah, I know that's what you like to do. You like to get people upset.
This is
behind
like
the
when
scenes.
Regis
Me
used to
and Jeff.
hassle Gelman
Yeah,
when
I feel
Gelman
like
had
Gelman,
900
except
things
for
to do, and
more
Regis
straight.
is just...
Do you want to pull the name out of the thing
No,
so you have something to do?
I think you can get it yourself.
Okay.
It's all right. It's okay.
All right,
He can probably do it himself.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Unbelievable. Stop it. All right, here we go.
think that's mine. Yep.
Damn it.
I never know who these people are.
Okay,
Who is
well,
this? Let me see if I
act
know
like
who
you're
it is.
excited. I don't know if he has a Twitter account, so that's...
Let's see who it is. Who is that?
He would
Kate
be
doesn't know.
great.
Oh, I know who this
He would be
is.
great to have on the podcast. The stories would be epic.
Let's
He's
see.
an older actor,
Hold on.
right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I met
If,
him.
if he doesn't have a
Yeah.
Twitter.
Oh,
then
no,
I'm
I
not
was thinking
sure.
of Bruce Stern. Sorry.
Yeah. Is he on Twitter?
No.
Damn it. All right, here you go.
Number 2.
Sorry, Schmoeville. I let you guys down. We would have got some great stories about Animal House,
Yeah.
about Time Cop,
Tweet
about Lincoln.
in Nathan Fillion.
Woo!
There you go.
It's pretty good. It's
That's
better than
good.
mine.
All right,
Better than
Nathan
mine.
Fillion. There you go, guys. So, what is his handle?
I believe it's at Nathan Fillion.
Oh, there you go. So, at Nathan Fillion, guys, tweet that in. Tell him you should be in the Schmoes Know Podcast with Katee Sackhoff, and then put in Schmoes Know Podcast for the hashtag.
And hashtag future Han Solo.
That's
That's
right.
what
That's
everybody
Tweet a
wants.
celebrity.
All right. Okay. So let's now it's what the hell was that?
Was that opportunity starting the car and get the hell out of Schmoeville before these creepy guys started hitting on her?
It is chaos now. Okay. So now let's do something here because in the spirit of the fact that the Lincoln movie came out, in the spirit that we just went through an election. I don't know if you know this, Katee. We just elected our president to 4 more years. I don't know if you know this.
Yeah,
but,
Steve Rogers and Tony Stark is going to be the vice president for the next 4 years.
They serve for 6 years, though, right?
Okay. We're not
Keep drinking your
not
beer,
in Caprica. All right, so we
Imagine if I was really that
to get the blonde even more back. So we're going to talk about just until we get into the Bond stuff and we can introduce our guests. We have on our website schmoesknow.com. Ken has actually been in charge of the website and hiring a lot of good writers, and we have asking people if they want to write for free. We have a very funny comedian, Brendan T Gleason, who
good buddy of mine. Yeah.
He wrote an article today. If you go to schmoesknow.com and check on the bottom of the page of the top 5, his top 5 actor presidents. So I figured what we do is we'll go over his list and we just see if we've seen these performances, talk about them.
Well, obviously, number 1 is going to be Greg Kinnear's JFK on the Reels hit show.
No, that was
Bill Pullman, Independence Day.
Let's see. That might actually made the list. That might have made the list. So here's what you guys do. Go to guys, check out schmoesknow.com, and if you want to read along with us, we're going to go on to we're going to go from 5 to 1. His number 5 choice is Harrison Ford in Air Force One.
Beautiful. Get off my plane.
That was such a good movie.
Yeah, he was, it was, and with Gary Oldman as the villain.
That was a good movie.
But what was good about it, you get to see a president who they said used to kick ass, and he has to kick ass, and you believe it's Indiana Jones kicking ass as the president. So yeah,
it was the perfect time in his career to play that character too. It's like, how do we get another action movie out of Harrison Ford? I know, make him the president and make him beat the crap out of Dracula.
Yeah.
Right.
Now I'm questioning his number 4, but we'll see how everybody else feels about it. Now it'd be one Tony Tiny Lister in The Fifth Element.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Gleason. Wow,
yeah, that's an interesting one.
Gleason does a lot of crazy stuff.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
The
either.
only thing I remember
He's cross-eyed,
about that
cross-eyed
is
president.
Mila.
Yeah, I would have gone. Okay, all right. You know what?
Whatever. But I like
it's out there.
All right, I like his number 3 though. His number
Great
3 is
movie, though.
Kevin Kline in Dave.
Oh, great movie.
Yeah, by our old co-host Pops. Ivan Reitman directed that one.
Times 2.
What's yeah. So
Times 2 different presidents in one movie.
That's right.
Very
good.
good.
He played 2. That's right.
Will he get elected for another 6-year term?
I love that movie though. That's an underrated movie. If you guys have never seen Dave, you should check it out. It's like it really is. It's like a real good guy who doesn't really know a lot about politics, gets thrust into the most powerful position in the world, and it's a very cool.
And Sigourney Weaver's amazing.
Oh, absolutely.
Sigourney Weaver, man.
Playing Hillary Clinton.
To this day, I'd love to take Sigourney Weaver for one night in the Lincoln bedroom.
Right.
Me too. Where's the Lincoln bedroom?
It's in the White House, and that's where all celebrities go. That's where they put celebrities up when they say the White House, and then the celebrities have sex there. Have dirty, disgusting,
Could you
kinky
imagine
sex.
taking a blue light into the Lincoln room?
Oh, gross.
Oh, it'd be like a 2020.
All right, number 2, he's got Bill Pullman from Independence Day. So that's one of the best speeches in a movie that I think is okay.
Yeah, okay.
I know you love it.
I like that movie. So now I'm trying to think of who number 1 could possibly be. Going back, going forth. It's got to be an obvious one that's right in front of my face. I'm thinking Morgan Freeman in Deep Impact.
Great one. I would have taken that. I would have taken that over Zeus. Or the Tony Tiny Lister.
Why? We can just trade black presidents. We can't do Morgan Freeman.
Stop it!
Stop being racist.
Stop it! You're unbelievable. You're unbelievable.
So
the number 1. Who would be his number 1?
I don't know. Anthony Hopkins and Nixon.
No.
Michael Douglas in The American President.
Yeah.
Gleason.
Yeah. No, that's great.
No, I think.
No, I'm happy. I'm just mad I didn't think of it. Michael Douglas.
You didn't like it? What's wrong with you?
I love Michael Douglas.
Stink eyes over here.
Never seen it.
In The American President.
What are you doing? Don't be that girl. Ow! Unbelievable. This is bullshit. What did you think about it? Never saw it. What's wrong with you?
It's fantastic because Michael Douglas is my favorite rich guy of all time. Him and Richard Gere, my favorite rich guys ever, right? And then Michael Douglas as a rich guy who's also the president. It fits so well.
He was great. So it's a great list. And then he's got a picture of Martin Sheen with his feet off, looking up in the air. I guess I'm not needed here. Which Martin Sheen played one of the greatest presidents on television.
Mary McDonald was the best president I've ever seen on television.
I'd say second best. She was pretty good though.
Who's first?
Martin Sheen in West Wing. Sorry. Yeah, Jeff the engineer throwing down the guns, telling Sackhoff to get on the mic.
Listen,
I'm on your side on this one, buddy.
Get on the mic.
I'm on the mic. Let's start rapping. All right, let's take a call from Schmoville. Hey, you're in Schmoville. Who do we got?
Hey, Kristian. What's up? This is Far Cry, a.k.a. Tony Morrow.
What's up, bud? Good, man. What's up?
Nothing much. So let's see. James Bond. My favorite of the films is Casino Royale. My favorite actor would be Daniel Craig, although the most underrated Bond film of all time has got to be On Her Majesty's Secret Service. But I do have a question for Katee, by the way.
Sure, shoot.
Okay, Katee, what's up?
Hi.
Okay, well, speaking of Bond films, it deals with romance. Okay, this is going to sound really silly, but a friend of mine wants to know, I won't say who, how long have you and Kristian dated, and why did you guys break up?
See you
later. Take care, you guys.
Good question, man.
He slipped that one in there.
Yeah, I didn't know you guys were dating. That's yeah.
I think Kristian's married and I'm engaged, so you know.
You're engaged?
You're engaged.
What?
What? Yeah. Unbelievable.
I told Katee not to go public until I paid the ring off.
Well, that was an interesting phone call. Anyway, yeah.
Let's get to the Bond stuff because my favorite. Are we doing Bond now? Can I get into Amanali's question?
Yeah,
finally.
Let's get into Bond.
All right, Sean. I totally agree with him in that Sean Connery is my favorite Bond of all time. Much like you can have great Bonds. Daniel Craig's a great Bond. I like Pierce Brosnan a lot. Dalton wasn't as bad as everybody says he was, but there's only one original lead singer, and that is Sean Connery, ladies and gentlemen.
Connery is the guy.
Yeah,
I mean he's the reason why we even have. Anybody else in
James Bond,
we have anyone else in the discussion. It's because he was so good.
Mm-hmm.
And, look, Daniel Craig right now is my favorite.
Yeah.
He's a different type of Bond.
Yeah.
100%. Nobody wanted him as Bond, but then when he made this new gritty Bond and everything too, it works. It was more Bourne in the beginning, but it's transferred. This one is transferred we got more.
You're taking Craig over Connery.
No, I'm not. Because Connery's always the guy. He's always the main.
He's your favorite Bond.
He's always the main guy. He's the guy who set the rule.
I mean, honestly, because each one of them brings something completely different, and I think that's what's great about the Bond movies is that every single one of them makes Bond different, and they've been believable every time for different reasons. I loved Pierce Brosnan. I thought he was amazing. He was my first introduction to Bond, and then I went back and watched Sean Connery. So Pierce Brosnan, in my mind, was always the first one.
Man, when GoldenEye came out, it was so exciting. I was so excited to pay to see a Bond movie for the first time ever, and GoldenEye was so good. But Pierce Brosnan was a fantastic Bond. The problem with his Bonds is that the movies were terrible after GoldenEye.
Day Another Die, or whatever the hell it was called.
The World Is Not Enough. With Denise Richards as a nuclear physicist.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Named Christmas.
Yeah.
Come on, guys. I'll believe that Jaws is a villain with fake teeth on the moon fighting Roger Moore. I'm not buying Denise Richards making it through one class.
No.
So it's but Craig. Let's talk about Daniel Craig though. As far as the Bond movies go, let's talk about what he does now. Because later on, when are we Roddy?
He's on the way. I just took that phone call for him. He's close by.
Roddy's close by. Okay, good. So I want to talk to Roddy about some of the old school Bond films because he's Roddy's a little older generation. Maybe he was around like when those movies were really popular.
He's a veteran,
old school. So we'll be talking about this Bond because this was Daniel Craig has really changed. He's put like a different layer to Bond.
Agreed.
And this new one, I actually think you'd really enjoy it because it has a lot of the action to it too, but it does bring you back to this. Like there's some smooth stuff.
There's some great nods to the to the classic ones. Even though the biggest thing, my biggest complaint about Bond now isn't Bond in the movies. It's seeing Bond on TV drinking a Heineken. Like, what are you doing, dude? You don't drink Heineken. You're James Bond. Put down the beer. Get a martini.
It's true, but
it bugs the shit out.
He had a martini in this one.
And then he also picked up a Heineken in the movie later.
Yeah,
too.
well, that's whatever. You got to pay the bills.
Yeah,
it's true.
That martini was disgusting. Can I get a beer? Who are you, Mark Ellis at the bar? No, you're James Bond.
Well, that's, by the way, we talked about this in the review as well too. Like the other Bonds have looked like like they liked and they enjoyed a drink and liked getting a party. This guy looked like he was a raging alcoholic. I mean, he wakes up and he's like,
Daniel Craig looks like it hurts.
He looks like he's been hit in the head with a shovel when he wakes up.
That's what I love so much about Daniel Craig's Bond is that he actually plays what the reality of the situation. This is a guy that's a womanizer. He's getting older and he's drunk, and it's he's very good at his job, but he wakes up alone for the most part. Maybe he wants to it's the negative aspect of being Bond is what he does.
Yeah,
but I'm saying living alone is a bad thing and a different woman every single night is a bad thing. But I'm just saying that you're lonely.
The swing and Ellis lifestyle.
Maybe you're drinking because you're lonely.
You know what I do when I leave the podcast, Katee? I go back home and I stare in the fire with a bottle of Sailor Jerry, and I just try to forget about life.
Do you have a cat and some catnip on your?
That would make me a Bond villain. If I'm petting a cat looking into a fire, I'm trying to take over the world.
A lot of nip talk in this thing.
A lot of nip talk.
A lot of nip talk.
I did say catnip, though.
Oh, okay. All right.
Those nips, Sackhoff.
Hey, you're tucking nips with Schmoville. Who do we got?
Hey, guys, it's George. What's up?
Georgie, what's up, dude?
Hey, can I backtrack to news for a quick second? Would that be all right?
Not if you tell me that you don't like Matthew Vaughn as director.
Go ahead, Georgie.
We're not going to go there.
All right. What you got?
I was just reading that they're talking about doing a Casablanca sequel. And
what's
Casablanca?
Oh, no.
Casablanca.
Oh, no.
Sequel.
No.
And it disgusts me that this is even brought to the table, period. Apparently they have a script from one of the original writers, but
what?
Oh,
Are
guys,
they all
come on!
dead?
And
was the guy on
Idris
ice
Elba
and they
should be
fought
gone.
him out and he's writing it again? George, I'm
No,
with you.
he wrote it. He wrote it in the '80s, and they had it, and they didn't run with it.
They had to
And
wait till he
now
died, so they owned
they're
it.
talking about making it, which is Jesus Christ!
I'm with
Poor
you, George.
Georgie.
Yeah, George. Thank you, George.
George, I love your enthusiasm about it. Oh, God.
He's writhing in pain.
I would like to relieve George's ails because,
it's not gonna happen.
look, George, they take classic movies and they make sequels to them in the porn industry all the time, okay? I've seen a lot of Casablanca 2. They've even gone to 4 or 5. It's not gonna ruin the legacy. Now, if they made an actual sequel to Casablanca, wow. If it's about the piano player, Sam,
the only way
I'm all in.
No, the only way that I would be cool with that is going back to our conversation we had a couple weeks ago. If they could actually put Humphrey Bogart in the movie, if they could put those guys in,
No, I think that would take away from it. I think that they could actually do it, and if they took the
there was a rumor
idea of
years
Casablanca.
ago that Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck were supposed to do a remake, and people went bananas.
Yeah.
They're not. Don't touch it. Leave it alone. Look, I understand the whole Star Wars thing because it's a franchise and they have all this stuff. They can tell more stories. Casablanca is a movie that doesn't need to be touched anymore. It's done. It's over.
Could you say the same thing about going back to 2 weeks ago? Couldn't you say the same thing about Footloose? It didn't need to be touched. Top Gun doesn't need to be touched.
Yes.
These are movies that leave them alone.
Well,
but it was a good movie.
I agree with you, but the difference is Casablanca and Footloose are on a little bit different levels.
Not to me, goddammit.
You know what I mean?
Even a little. It was just a different style of filmmaking, and I get that people they can't let go of these characters, whether they want to see a sequel, or they want to see it redone. But I mean, look, let's just let that one be, because at the end of the movie, it's the perfect exit line of a story ever. You know, this could be the start of a beautiful friendship. You know what happened later that night? Right. They went to Hooters and they began to drink themselves into an early grave. That's the end of that story.
You know, a great movie that I would love to see remade though is Cat on a Hot Tin Roof. I would love to see that remade.
I just don't understand why there's certain movies like
you can get away with Cat on a Hot Tin Roof because they do it on stage all the time.
Yeah, I think that the reason people want to see these movies remade is because the screen quality. People want to see them done with the special effects and the things that we have these days. I don't know. I'm speculating.
Can I ask you a question? Why do you hate your microphone? Why do you hate it so much? It wants to talk to you.
Make love to that thing,
It wants to talk to you.
Because
it's there for
my
you.
doctor told me to avoid anything where balls fly at my face.
Little clueless stuff.
Anything foul.
All right. Let's take a
because
call.
I don't know what to do with this thing. It's the same argument at home.
Oh, look at you. All right, guys, you're in Schmoville. Who do we got? And make sure you don't make any penis jokes because those have already been taken.
Okay. My name is Leanne. I'm calling from New Jersey.
Is it the famous Photoshop, Leanne?
What?
Is this the famous Photoshop, Leanne?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Round of applause. Right. Leanne is responsible for all the amazing Photoshop, the Schmo fellas, she's won probably 75% of the merchandise that we've given away on this show.
She has done it all, and she's not a bad Scramble with Friends player either. How are you, Leanne?
What's up, Leanne? How you doing?
I'm good.
So what's up? What do you got?
You know what? I'm just listening to the podcast like usual, and you guys are hitting on Bond, which is one of my favorite things in the whole wide world.
Right.
And I mean, Daniel Craig could stand there and do nothing but look hot, and I'd pay to see the movie.
Right, me too.
But all right, but from reading your tweets and your Facebook stuff too, you're more than that though. Too, you like the story, you like the action, you like all that stuff too. So if he was just sitting there scratching his ass the whole movie.
Well, that's what he did in Quantum of Solace.
In Quantum of Solace, that's what he did. But you get bored
Okay,
after
all
a
right.
while.
You know what? In all fairness, yeah, Quantum of Solace sucked.
Right. So,
But it still was good because of.
So you're saying
it
that
was
you went to
hot.
see Dreamhouse? I think you're lying.
I totally saw Dreamhouse. I watched it twice.
Yeah, you hated it.
Leanne, you like Daniel Craig. Obviously, he's a sex pot, even for a 70% straight fellow like me. Who is your favorite all-time Bond, though?
You know what? I got to go with the Sean Connery on that one.
I mean, it's impossible.
He
not to.
is just the definitive Bond, if you're going to be so bold as to say it.
I agree.
But Daniel Craig is a close second.
Well, I agree with you. And Leanne, first of all, from everybody here, thank you so much for your. And she did the great Star Wars one last week with every member of the podcast. Thank you so much.
You know what? I loved doing the Star Wars ones. I absolutely love doing the Photoshop ones.
You know, I didn't show Katie.
Awesome.
I didn't show Katie your
I
most
haven't
recent
seen that
one.
one yet.
Well, no, she did one of you as just Princess Leia. I forget, what was the title of it?
It was. I think it was just the shots of.
It was Princess
Schmoes
Know
and just individual ones, but it's Leia Schmoes Know.
Is that why people
it's
thought
hard.
that I was actually playing Princess Leia?
Yes.
Like people
Yes.
got livid.
Yeah, there were a lot of
People were actually really excited about it, and then they were like, "Fuck you!"
Yeah, no, there were a lot of pictures of you. All right, anyway, well, Leanne, we got to run to a break.
How cool would that be, though? You know?
I would be
Amazing.
amazing.
Leanne,
You're
thank
the
you so
top.
much for
You're
calling in. Thank you, the
you.
best, and please keep doing those Photoshop. We love them.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, guys.
No
Great
problem.
show. Love it as always.
Thank you. All right, guys. So we'll be back here with Katee Sackhoff, Mark Ellis, Kristian Orloff. Coming back from the break very soon. Rowdy Roddy Piper about to hit the Schmoes Know airwave. All right, I was ready. I almost yelled at you for a second. I almost yelled at you, but I like what you're doing here. I like what you're doing. Okay. Now,
is this Adele?
Yeah, this is the new Skyfall song, and it's fantastic.
This is the record that Get to the Castle is going to bump off the top of the charts next week?
No, it's not going to happen. Look,
Thank you.
I'll tell you, no offense. The song is.
It's great.
It's great.
And I love the
moment.
intro of
Yeah.
this movie. And you know what, Kristian? I liked it so much that I actually, during our review, I requested a joke get taken out that I made during our review because I felt bad.
What was it?
Because you were talking about how great Adele's song was,
Yeah.
and then I said we almost looked like Adele because we took down a large popcorn at the opening scene. And I was watching the
Was I there when you made that
I
joke?
was watching the rough cut. Yeah, you even giggled. I make so many good jokes that you forget some of them.
Or I
And,
pretend to laugh at them.
That one's mean, though.
I know, and I thought about it, and I took it out.
Isn't he a rotten bastard?
Yeah,
He
I
really
took it
is.
out, but I thought it'd be good for the podcast.
But yet you mention it on the podcast.
It'd be good for
but
the
But I
podcast.
will say something else good for the podcast before we
Yeah.
introduce our guest. Who's coming out. This is something I have to share with both Schmoville. You can get that in a second, but I have to introduce this story because Katie, you're going to love this too.
Big news. Who's pregnant?
No, it's not. You might not want to
Not
talk
me.
about it, and if you don't want to talk about it, that's fine. I have to. We know this guy.
Oh, jeez.
We have to talk about this. We know about this guy. He's in a movie theater, okay? And he's a guy. He's a movie critic, all right? He's narcoleptic.
Oh, fuck.
He's a movie critic, and he's a narcoleptic. And I'm going, wait a minute. So the guy is just like, he's a nice guy. It's fine, but he'll write to someone in this room and say, I missed 15 minutes of the movie. Can you fill me in? And it's like, not is it his fault. He knows that he's the narcoleptic. He knows, but who hired this guy? You know what I mean? Like, isn't it someone like? Would you have hired the guy? Is it nice for them to do? What's your opinion on it? Do you think they should have hired him, or do you think they should have said no? You fall asleep in movies.
I think that they should have equal opportunity hired him and just have him watch him twice.
Can I ask you a question here?
Yeah.
It's a funny bit, but have you ever read one of his reviews? Have you ever seen him review a movie?
No,
Maybe he's really good. Maybe he's
Because
really,
he's getting answers from somebody else that's seen the movie. Of course he's
it happened
good.
once or twice. He's a buddy of mine. I don't know why you have to take a cheap shot at a guy who clearly got dealt a tough hand when it comes to life.
Because he's sleeping in the movie. It's what.
Maybe he shouldn't go into dark places in comfy chairs.
That's my
and,
point.
Like, eat a bunch of food and you get really tired, like Thanksgiving, and then you fall asleep anyway.
That's a helpful tip.
Listen, I
Thank
appreciate
you.
you defending the guy. I'm saying I didn't assault his character. All I said is I don't understand who hired someone who falls asleep in movies. All right,
Kristian also hates the Home Depot for their their equal opportunity.
Stop
as well.
that.
I will say this: if you are narcoleptic, then you probably shouldn't go see Lincoln because it's a long movie.
Yeah,
and
all right,
it's
well,
slow,
exactly. All right, let me take one more call, and then we're going to introduce our guest. All right, so, hey, you're in Schmoville. Who do we got?
Yeah, I'm a narcoleptic film critic, and I'm pissed
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Austin from Florida.
Are you a narcoleptic?
Oh, God, no.
Okay, great. So,
Oh, God, I was just going to say something so inappropriate.
This guy sounds like he's on the other end of that spectrum.
If you fell asleep during sex?
No, I was going to say something really, really bad about it.
First of all, I got to say, Mark, it's great to see you back on the show, buddy.
Hey, thank you, dude. It sounds like you're jacked up in Florida. You know what that means, kids. Crystal meth.
That's right. What's your
Dude, you fucking know, bro.
what do you got, dude? Because we're about to bring in the great Rowdy Piper in a second.
All right, well, first of all, I got to say, I just saw Skyfall last night, and I absolutely loved it. And I got to agree with you, Kristian. Adele did a perfect intro for it. It was awesome.
It was old school, wasn't it?
Oh, my God, absolutely. And Daniel Craig I think, is the best Bond now. I mean, John Connery will always hold a spot in my heart as Bond, but Daniel Craig can not only play the raw and savage Bond, but he can also play the suave and sex-obsessed Bond that we saw in the previous films.
I agree with you. I mean, thank you so much for the call. Yeah, I mean, it was a nice marriage between the new kind of gritty Bond and the old school Bond. It worked well. But all right, without any further ado here, we're so excited to have this guy that's coming in here. He's a wrestling legend. He's a legend in general, and one of the reasons we're bringing him in is because one of the movies that he was in, it was a movie called They Live. It was one of my favorite movies. Let's pump that up. Pump that up. Yeah. From Glasgow, Scotland, the living legend, Rowdy Roddy Piper! Roddy Piper! You got cans for this guy? Cans? Do we have extra? You sure? Roddy Piper! Roddy!
There he is, ladies and gentlemen.
Bagpipes are blaring. We're keeping a family show here.
That's right. How great is? Listen, look, we are privileged to have a living legend in Schmoville. And let me say this to this guy. I've been in your house now in the podcast world, and now it is an honor for us to have you here.
No, the honor's mine.
No, stop it. You're one of the nicest guys in the world, and I got to let in because it's really cool to have you here because we want to talk about. So first of all, we'll talk about They Live. We got to talk about coming out on Blu-ray.
Holy cow! Yeah. I think maybe yesterday.
Okay.
Yesterday.
Yeah?
Have you seen it? You should do a review on it if you haven't.
Yeah, we will.
I'm in, dude.
Well, just because when I saw Mark, he came over and asked me to do a review on the Expendables. I still laugh about this.
Yeah.
And I go, Mark, I haven't seen it. Just do it anyway. And because I knew the guys in it so well.
Yeah, you do it, and then you saw it and you were dead on anyway.
Mice and men, I'd be a good Lenny.
That was one of the best experiences my entire life doing it as far as my career in Schmoville, because I knew Kristian found out I was hanging out with Rowdy Piper, like we were doing some stand-up together, and he's like, dude, you got to get him to do the Expendables review. And so Kristian set it up where I'm going to go to Rowdy's place and bring a flip camera. So I just show up there and I'm like, Mr. Piper, are you?
It was pretty cool.
It was really cool.
He had this little flip camera, and I was like, hi, how are you? No, it's sure. Go ahead. Yeah. Well, are you ready? Yeah, you just turn it on. Okay, here we go. It's about people that are expendable. Okay, here they are. They're dying. They're dying all the way. Yeah.
Well, it was great. I loved it. And he had one of the best. Both Katee Sackhoff and Roddy were in the first ever You Reviewers Awards that we did. And Roddy had one of the best, if not the best, intro where he mentioned his the movie that we talked about this morning, Hell to Frogtown.
How comes it for baby Jesus? Last potent male in the world. Don't hold it against me, my dear. I know it's typecasting. I mean, and there I got the belt on, and every time
Chastity belt.
Thank you very much. And every time I tried to get away, the Sandal Bergman would zap me. She didn't do that to Conan.
No, had to do it to the Hot Rod. Well, Hot Rod, I want to also we have an intern now.
You do?
We have an intern, and he wanted to ask you a couple questions.
Sure.
You want to come over here? Come here, Josh. Ask. You can ask the Hot Rod whatever you want to ask him. You got 3 questions.
Don't lean into Roddy's mic, for God's sake, Josh. Give him some room.
First of all, it's an honor. I grew up watching you. Can't tell how many times my friends would wrestle each other, and I was always like, hey, I'm Rowdy Piper. Hands down.
Thank you very much.
Man, where do you even start?
Quickly. All, that's where you start, Josh.
Start quickly, man.
All right, well.
I still got it, Rod. I still got it, buddy.
I love you. USA! USA, USA,
right.
USA.
I feel like I'm about to get taken down. All right, I'm down for the pin. Okay, first of all,
number one,
80s hair. I need to know who had the best hair in the 80s when it came to wrestling because, I mean, 80s hair is just.
All right, 80s hair. Who had the best ever?
80s hair. Who had the well? Not Hogan.
He's still looking
yes,
for
you
it.
know they made me grow that hair. It was Carpenter's wife made me grow that hair for They Live.
Great too.
Wow, there was a lot. It was a mane, you know.
Yeah.
I was telling my son the other day, you know, he's getting feisty, and I said, "You got a little mane. I got a big mane. Don't get feisty." So with the hair, I'm glad you like the hair.
Yeah.
You know, it was kind of just let it grow. Not that you would know, but you know, roll with it, kid.
All right,
Powder.
I know.
All right, what do you got at number two? What do you got at number two?
All right. One of my favorite movies growing up was The Princess Bride, and I loved Andre the Giant in that movie. I mean, he's classic, quotable. If they did a sequel to that movie, would you be in it?
The Princess Bride? I'd have to grow a little bit, but I think I would be honored. I think Andre the Giant was the best actor of all the wrestlers ever.
We ranked him 2 in our list. You were number 1.
I love you
number
too,
3.
man.
Number 3. Last one.
All right. By far, one of the greatest fight scenes of all time is in They Live with Keith David. That thing goes on for 5 minutes straight. I just want to know, like, how did you guys plan that? Was it choreographed, or you guys just kind of improv? I mean, did your wrestling come into it?
My wrestling in the fight.
I mean, you threw
You
some
a wise
hooks.
guy, man?
No, you threw some hooks in there.
What kind of improv? What kind of improv? What are you talking about?
No, it's okay. It's okay. He's fine. He's fine.
No, he's not fine. I'm fine.
Sorry.
Oh,
Sorry. Wait, you want to go to break? What?
Yeah, have a nice day. I'll be right back. What'd you do? Tell me your problem.
What happened? I don't know what happened.
What'd you ask him?
What was the question?
Kristian texted me 3 questions to ask him. He said, "Oh, you gonna read it, right?" So Kristian told me, he said, "Did you improv the fight at all during They Live?"
I said forever.
All right, we're back on. We're back on.
Oh,
You have been punked, Josh the Intern.
It was like, I don't know. I'm sorry. I so didn't
When I
know
walked
that.
out there, Roddy was like, looked like, oh my God, the poor kid. That's an actor. I mean, unbelievable. That was Roddy. I mean, that was one
What
of
was your question now?
the fight scene.
Before we get to that, Roddy, I'll tell you this. I was in on the prank, okay? I knew that this was just a goof. You had me shitting my pants. I'm like, oh, he's for real this time. Oh, no.
I have to tell you, Josh was like seconds away from tears.
Oh, no.
I almost told him it was. I almost broke. I was like, oh God, just tell him.
Terrible thing to do. I hate bullies. I hate them. Josh, what was the question?
He's holding his heart like Fred Sanford.
Well, the great part is when we thought about it, it was the fact that I didn't know at first. I was like, I'm assuming that he knew you were, and then I saw his tweets, and he was a huge fan. So I'm like, it's going to be
Not
great.
now.
And I was like, no, because this is honestly, how great is it that Roddy Piper slapped you in the face?
It is an honor, and I have so many friends jealous of me right now.
Yeah,
I love you.
exactly. So yeah, I knew he was going to love that. He's a great kid. I knew he was going to be able to take it. So
okay. You
yeah.
all right there, pal? All right.
All right, great.
Good contact on the slap.
So funny. That was great. He gave him a crack.
No solid damage, just wing them.
So fun. I love these tweets that we got too. What the fuck? That dude just flipped out on the Schmoes Know podcast.
That dude. Where are you at?
So funny. Other people, that's amazing.
He's drinking now. Josh
Cool
is
down.
shotgunning a beer. He needs
down,
a
buddy.
nice really quick.
Oh, great. All right. Okay. So, all right. The question.
love you, Josh.
The question was.
Yeah.
That fight that you guys had, that epic fight that has been it's like one of the longest fights, and it's
It's the
brutal.
longest in cinema history. It's in the Guinness Book of World Records.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You got to watch that fight.
Yeah.
It's brutal, and it's like, but you guys really were hitting each other too in that thing,
I
right?
tell you what happened was John Carpenter asked me to watch The Quiet Man with John Wayne and Maureen O'Hara. And at that time, that was the longest fight. But the trick was, this was a fight between two friends. And that brings a whole... because
two baby faces.
Two baby faces. If you're struggling for baby faces, I suppose. And the thing was, the fight needed to match the arc of the script.
Yeah.
And some of the things that were put in the fight were... Yes, first of all, the answer to the first question is, Keith David is a wonderful man, a 220-pound dancer that hits like Mike Tyson and doesn't even know it.
I worked with him. He's lovely.
What movie did you work on him with?
The Last Sentinel.
Oh, okay.
With Don,
it's Don. Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
And isn't he a great man? He's
They're both
really
amazing
great.
people. It was,
Now, did he ever hit you, Katee? Does he punch like Mike Tyson? Can we confirm that?
Katee could probably beat him.
Probably. Katee can throw some bombs. Yeah, it's true. Katee knows how to fight.
And so the part I liked about the fight is not the physical contact, was when the character Nada, they got going, and Nada grabbed a 2x4 and swung it at his head and broke the car window. But then he realized, wait a second, what am I doing? This is my buddy, and he registered that. Yeah. But Keith's, I can't remember his character's name, Keith David, got angry because I did that and got a bottle and break it, but it cut his hand. Really? And that made me, as his buddy, laugh, which infuriated him more, and he dove and we went over a car. So those kind of beats inside the fight brought, just for me anyway, brought a more of a human and a reality to the fight, that is a fight between two friends. And that's, I think, what made it unique, because it matched the arc of the script. A lot of times with martial artists and stuff, I mean, they're great, and I respect them.
Well, it was raw. The fight was raw.
The fight was raw, and it wasn't 27,000 punches and kicks, and everybody's still standing, no hats falling off.
What I loved about it, though, too, was especially because that was like 88, around that area, 87, 88 is when
it came out in 88.
So when you were at the height of your career at that point, too, or right around, I mean, and so when that was going on, you threw in the wrestling moves. I mean, the back suplex was in there, and you had all those moves that wrestling fans could cheer at as well.
And I hear that when they watch it, they call them out now.
Oh, yeah?
Suplex!
Oh, that's amazing.
And I think that I suplexed him, and I can't remember what other wrestling moves I actually did do. A lot was kind of a street, pounded around kind of thing.
It was,
but what made the fight, I think, work was... So we get in the alley, and it's a real homeless alley. So first thing they do is they're licing it down. And I'm like, I am coming to work, Vince McMahon doing this? Never mind. So,
it's a very glamorous business.
I'll tell you.
Behind the scenes.
What an entrance plan. And then Keith was trying to throw the movie punches, of course, where you cross the line. But when the fist was coming back, like the thumb was catching me in the eye. And then finally, whoa, everybody out of the pool. Keith, below the neck, just hit me. It's going to be a lot easier, and let's go as far as we can. And we did it in 3, as going as far as we can, and then came back the next day and did all the pickups and the parts that were a little riskier. I think a side suplex maybe. I went to back suplex him and a kick off the wall. So we had to protect him there. But the fact that we could go, we actually got into it. And he was dinging me, and I wasn't catching him. But it kept it made the fight more believable, because it kept that energy up.
Yeah. How long did it take to shoot that whole thing?
3 days.
Wow.
Yeah, and I trained with him, let me see, about 2.5 weeks in Carpenter's backyard to teach him how to fight, kind of.
Wow.
Like he needed the help.
There's not a lot of actors who would be, just really hit me. Just really go ahead and lay me out, because it's going to look better. It's going to be more realistic.
But the funny thing, too, is when you have, like, Keith David also, again, who's a big dude, was probably like, thinking, like, who'd you guys cast? Because I'd be like, oh, shit. You're a Piper contestant.
He was very respectful.
I'm sure, yeah. And you guys had that cool relationship too in the movie, which it looked like you guys were buddies. You guys got along afterwards.
Very much so. Cool. Because one of the problems that I had was when I left wrestling, the wrestling organization sent the WWF, EFG, whatever the heck it is, working with it, sent me a message. And it was Vince, and he said, through my lawyer, you tell Piper that Hogan and I are the only true blue WWFers. And they didn't want me to do that movie. And when I came to Hollywood, they thought, oh, great, here's another jock trying to be an actor.
Right.
And I needed to, because like the acting that they do, you guys you're wonderful. Then the art that you have is just incredible. And so I actually went and started taking acting lessons and worked with it as hard as I could in the short period of time I had.
Well, let me just say, Josh the Intern thinks you're a pretty good actor.
Oh, that's easy. You should stop there, Josh.
Come here to chew bubble gum and kick ass.
And get Josh.
And I'm all out of bubble gum.
Yeah.
And then Carpenter said lunch.
Really? Right?
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
It was an improv. It was.
You made that line up?
Yeah, because,
Wow.
so he says action, right? And then he says hold the roll. For film's working and everybody's working, and the director has something to say, and he says, Rod, you got bullets across your chest, you got a shotgun, you got glasses, you're going into a bank, you're not going to rob it, you need to say something. Action, bubblegum, I'm all out of bubblegum, and lunch, and I was walking to catering, going, what the hell did I just say? Chew bubblegum, and
Isn't that funny?
never
Everything
thought
stuck.
another thing about it.
And you get it. You get it to this day.
I still don't really get it. I don't really know what I like. Yeah, I'm all
Just
out of bubblegum.
the fact that crossed your mind that way. If that was me in that scene, I'd literally say, I came here to kick ass and chew bubblegum, and I'm terrible at kicking ass.
Yeah.
So does anybody have some Trident? Like, it'd be the exact opposite.
Trident.
He's got, and he has another one in there as well, though, too. Like, so if you haven't seen the film, it's so what happens is when you have the John Carpenter, the great John Carpenter. Roddy is the guy who finds like these glasses that basically who knows how long these aliens have been taking over, and Roddy's able to see them, and he sees this one woman putting on this makeup, and she's like dolling herself up, and he goes, "That's like slapping lipstick on a pig."
Pouring perfume on a pig.
Perfume on a pig.
Well,
Right. I did the Sarah Palin part. Sorry.
I'll tell you where that came from real quick. Is when I went to Charlotte, North Carolina, there was a guy there that was very popular. His name was Ric Flair. And so
talk about wrestling hair, right?
Dance on that dance a little longer. It's a whole other jail story. And all my stories with Flair wind up ending up in jail, but just me. Damn him. Anyway,
all good stories end behind bars, Roddy.
Kinda.
That's right.
So I'm in the Carolinas, and Flair, I'm a blue jean kind of guy, and so Flair has me go and dump about $5,000 on these suits like he wore at a place called Franco's in Richmond. So now I come out in all these camel hair clothes, and there's some redneck chewing tobacco. I swear to God, man. And it's studio wrestling, and I pass by, and the clothes are hanging off me, and he looks at me, and he goes, like putting perfume on a pig.
Wow.
That's where the line came from.
Wow.
Yeah, I was actually called that. Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah, I mean, again, for Schmoes, you guys who have not seen They Live, you should check it out. It's a fantastic movie. And, by the way, we did do an article on our top 10 wrestlers in acting, and Roddy did hit #1 with that performance.
Oh,
and
thank
what
you.
we also did before you came on the show today, and what we've been doing every week is we have Schmoes, they tweet out celebrities that we want on, but we're doing something different today.
What you doing?
What we're doing is, Schmoeville, right now, what I want you to do is to tweet Sylvester Stallone, and you tell him Roddy Piper, and you connect Roddy, tweet Roddy, has to be in Expendables 3. You tweet Stallone. So you tweet Stallone, you say Roddy Piper must be in Expendables 3.
Now we're cooking.
Now we're cooking. Yeah.
I'd like to do that. I met Sly when he was doing Paradise Alley, I think it was, with Terry Funk.
Wow.
Back then.
Kristian Helfer wasn't even born yet.
No.
Wow.
5 minutes.
Cow.
Okay.
I thought you were saying you were there.
Jeff the engineer probably was there. He's 137 years old.
Yeah.
He just looks young.
He's one of the
aliens.
He's one of these Twilight vampires, Roddy.
But with the glasses and the whole thing, one of the things that gave the movie such life is, and people believe that this movie is coming true. And like when Obama and Romney, of course, were going to it, I would go, obey. This is your dog.
Right.
Sheep. And people would tweet the dog out of it.
Oh, wow.
But a lot of people, that whole concept. And Carpenter what his undercurrent was Reaganomics at the time. And so, like, you know, Carpenter was big on buying America, so every press conference, I had to take the Rolex off and, like, you know, and put the BMW behind. You know, they were all leased. And, you know, but that was about Reaganomics was the whole undertow of that movie. It was a political statement on his part. And to some extent, you know, I think that society tries to keep us calm and sleeping so they can. I don't believe for a second that when they picked Obama, they knew they were going to roll with the guy. I've been in a business that understands that business. And I don't believe for a second that Obama wasn't going to win that election. I've never voted in my life, and I never give an opinion before elections because I'm not qualified. But when they pick a baby face, they stick with them.
Hogan knows it.
Yeah, they put too much money into it.
Rob, we're gonna come back in a second because we're gonna lose Katee. She's got to take off. But there's a couple things before we have like 2 minutes. Okay, so we're gonna come back and talk old school.
I have to go to a bar opening.
Oh.
A friend of mine.
I got to go change diapers. So we wanted to before we're gonna talk Bond with you when we get back from the break, but we have to show this. And Roddy, try to not fall off your seat. Yeah. This is. Look at this, Katee. Where can they get this?
This is right up Hot Rod's alley.
You can go to redbubble.com and search Acting Outlaws.
Can I go there now? And will you come with us?
Trisha Helfer, who has been on the show.
That's
beautiful.
My best friend and I, and it's to benefit AmFAR.
We know her. She's been on the show a couple times.
Oh, you got some hair in your face, man. That wind's really picking up.
The wind is really, it's crazy.
April, what's the craziest month that I should go to?
You should go to, I think, October and November.
Ooh, trick or treat.
It's gonna take me. It's gonna take me a while to get there, but I don't think anybody cares. That one's not bad.
That's not bad,
So
but I think we're getting there.
Wow.
Oh no, girls, you're stranded with no bra.
Oh, my motorcycles don't look that good. Creepers.
All right.
Nice.
What do I see? In my future, 5 creeps staring at my calendar. There you go.
Hi, Trisha.
No, wow. When's she coming back on?
She's really developed.
Goodness.
We're almost there.
All right.
Wow. Thelma and Louise.
This looks
right
like
there.
that Entertainment Weekly photograph you guys took at the party.
Right?
All right.
All right, and then.
Whoa! Hey-oh! Oh! USA! USA!
The crack of dawn, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, that's whoa! All right, unbelievable. I think everybody just passed out. Thank you. This is ours, right?
Yeah, that's for you guys.
Unbelievable. Katee Sackhoff.
Yeah.
Are you, Katee? Are you back next week or no? You're not here this next week.
I am here next week.
You are here. Okay, great. Okay, good. So we'll have Katee back.
So it has been pushed.
Okay, good. So we're going to have Katee back next week. We'll say goodbye to her. We'll be back with the Hot Rod talking classic James Bond and calls from Schmoeville. Wow, Leanne just did a poster with Piper in Expendables. That's great. She also did one with Piper as as the villain with us in Inglourious Bastards. It's a good one. Yeah,
I did like
villain.
that movie.
It was a
All
great
right,
one.
I'm going to read a couple tweets from Schmoeville. We're going to take some calls from Schmoeville.
Schmoeville. I love it. I've never been to Schmoeville before.
Yeah, welcome,
right
my
next
friend.
to Whoville.
Schmoeville will never be the same.
No way. Not after you get slapping the interns. But Katee has changed a little bit since the break. And we're introducing. This is Roddy's son. Colt Toombs is here with us.
Yeah,
Colt,
nobody wants me.
Yeah,
Got a pretty girl leads. I got this kid in the corner. Let's bring him up.
The
Colt,
one with the lisp.
Avoid S's the rest of the show.
Go say super sugar. Say it.
No.
Now the great thing about having both these guys here is too that now Roddy also, like, you guys now a lot of tweets are coming in how great Roddy's stories are. You ain't seen nothing. I ain't seen nothing. I have the privilege of co-hosting sometimes with Roddy on his on the Rod Pod show, and it's do you have a specific date now when the show is on?
Not really.
Not yet.
Not yet.
But where can we find?
November the 20th. RowdyRoddyPiper.com.
Okay.
You can find it there.
Okay.
And, they're doing all that website stuff.
Okay. And you guys should check. I mean, you get all the stories, and Colt's there every week, too. And our
Steve Simone.
Our great buddy, Steve Simone, who might be the nicest person on the planet and one of the funniest guys.
And the funniest, yeah.
Yeah.
He's beautiful.
Yeah. And I mean, you hear all this stuff, because that's the thing about Roddy, besides being a legend, he's extremely honest, and he does, but he shoots from the heart, man, and that's why I love doing the show. And
we have a lot of fun.
Oh, we have so much fun, and it's so cool. And Steve Simone and I always say, like every day, Steve looks at me and goes, "How great is this?" he's like, "How great?" He's like, "This is the best." It's the best.
Roddy, the boys try to play it cool. Kristian and Steve try to play it cool when they're in the studio doing it with you, and then when they get to talk to each other, they're like, "Dude, I know, but I was on the show and he did this."
Yeah, it's true. It's like, I'm talking to my brother. What were you doing? Oh, you were doing. You're counting stuff. I was with Rowdy Piper. Roddy, you remember him? Used to punch Hogan in the face. Hogan never pinned him. Remember that guy? The guy
That's
Hogan
true.
Never pinned?
Not honest. I pinned Hogan one time. I actually put him to sleep, and I put my foot on his chest. And the WCW, and he's
Amazing.
never pinned me clean. So
I love that.
That's fantastic.
It's a true
Yeah.
story.
I want to talk to Cole here in a little bit, but let's take a couple calls from Schmoville real quick.
Roddy doesn't rely on bandanas nearly as much as Hulk does.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, you're in Schmoville. Who do we got?
Hey, it's the Slender Man of Santa Barbara, known as Far Cry.
You lost your privileges, my friend. You lost your privileges. All right. All right.
Rufus here in Schmoville, Roddy.
Hey, you're in Schmoville. Who do we got?
It's Max.
Hey, Max. What's up, man? You got something for the hot rod?
Well, I couldn't get in earlier, but I just wanted to know if you guys heard that originally Liam Neeson was supposed to play Lincoln.
Oh, okay.
I just want to hear what you would think about that.
That's a great one. So we just saw Lincoln movie last night.
Okay.
With Daniel Day-Lewis, who was fantastic.
Unbelievable actor.
He was so good in the movie.
Holy cow.
He just literally he Mark said it too. He encompasses.
And Liam Neeson,
He was supposed to play. He was supposed to play.
He was supposed to play.
Yeah.
My favorite movie with him, and I'm a huge fan of the IRA, is Michael Collins.
Michael
They protected
Collins,
me in Belfast. I accidentally peed on the police station, and if it wasn't I did by accident.
Wait, how do you accidentally? You just peed and didn't know what it was?
I was in Belfast. That's just a true story. I was in Belfast, and Davy Boy, the British Bulldog.
Wow.
He had a Union Jack cape on, all right? And he's back there, and his knees are shaking. We're in Belfast. You know?
So he knew the rules.
Now,
He knew the
this
rules and
is-
broke them.
he knew-
Right, okay.
Now, this is the truth. The promotion, the WWF, booked me in the most bombed hotel in the world called the Europa in Belfast.
They were
It was
really trying to
bombed
get
the
rid of you,
day
huh?
before, and he took a life insurance policy out on me. It was bombed the day before, and it was bombed a couple days after
The
I left.
hotel was. It's
The
a five
Europa. Look it up.
It was a 5-star hotel until the bombs destroyed the star.
Piper, you're fired.
Whole new way to get rid of me.
Wow.
It didn't work.
Wow.
And so I'm, now the IRA is protecting me.
Yeah.
And what my thing with Davy Boy was, he had to go out and he's got the Union Jack cape on. And so we all crowded down, we were going to go out. And those people, they gave him such an ovation. They loved him. And so they took us out. You tend to drink a bit back in those days in Belfast. And I didn't know we were by a building. And there was just a deep hole. And there was a couple of windows open, but I had to pee, when you're drinking beer. I peed, and it was the lunchroom of the Belfast City Police. I kid you not. They come out the door, and if it wasn't for the IRA, I don't know that I'd be here.
Wow.
And probably I wouldn't be because they would have blown up the Europa too. And when
Josh the
I was
Intern would have
in,
left it without a red face.
Yes, and when I was in Kuwait, I had the PLO guarding me.
Wow. And
Anyway,
so you like Michael
Liam
Collins?
Neeson, I guess going back to Liam
Yeah.
Neeson is like Michael Collins is. I don't have many guys I look up to. Michael Collins, Gandhi, Nelson Mandela, Woody Guthrie, Lead Belly. Those are all in that kind of. I know you never asked any of these questions, but just in case you were gonna, I was laying out the answers now.
No, I like the fact that we go. Rod, this show goes in 100 different directions. It's
the
fine.
ADD kicks
I guarantee. I'll tell you this: Nelson Mandela has a fat head of Roddy Piper in his private quarters too. He's just as big a fan as you, my friend.
That's right.
He did 20 years in jail.
Mandela,
for a political crime, and every morning he was the first man to extend his hand in kindness to the guard.
Really?
Holy
yeah. Did you see the movie as well with Morgan Freeman? You should check it out.
I never have.
Invictus. You should.
With that
Morgan
guy,
Freeman and Matt
soccer
Damon.
player. Matt Damon.
Yeah. So
that's a hell of a man.
Yeah, they're playing rugby in the movie. Nelson Mandela originally in prison for peeing at a Belfast police station.
Did you ever meet Mandela?
No, never had the pleasure. No.
Yeah, I mean,
you ever meet Morgan Freeman? It's almost good enough. It's really close.
Most of the times you ask him his questions, he's going to say yes.
I know.
That's
why it's great.
I know.
I just never met Nelson Mandela, nor obviously never Gandhi either.
So
met the Queen.
You met the Queen of England?
Yeah.
Now I heard that's a really nerve-wracking
Fought her in the
process.
main event.
Yeah, because like she seemed really laid back in that James Bond promo they did at the Olympics, but I hear it's like a really nerve-wracking kind of thing. Like you have to hold your hand a certain way,
You're
or
not
else.
allowed to talk. I wrestled. This is very cool. I wrestled at the.
You wrestled the Queen?
No, I wrestled a couple of queens trying to get the hell out of town. But this particular time, I was in Royal Albert Hall, and it only holds about 1,200. My son's here. Just sees on down there. He lisps.
Yeah, your mom. We should hide that calendar. Hide that calendar.
And so, Royal Albert Hall is where the Queen, like her balcony's there, and there's a big crown on it. It only holds about 1,200 people, and I wrestled there. And we used to have a thing because pay-per-views, we did the very first pay-per-views in history, and we had a rule: they're live, nothing can go wrong.
Right.
And so I'm wrestling. There's it's Royal Albert Hall, man, and all the lights go out right in the middle of the pay-per-view. So like it was a Royal Rumble. So there's a lot of guys. Like I got down on the mat, being a clever one, and I'm going. There's no lights. They can't tell, and they turn the lights on. There I am. Oh. Your Majesty, I'm back up. True story.
Just reading a newspaper.
Yeah. But when you meet her,
all right, well,
you're not allowed to talk. You're not allowed. And why she wears gloves is because you can't touch skin to skin because she's royalty. I mean, there's a lot
that's
of
crazy.
And that's a good lesson for your son, Colt, is you never beat up a queen unless the queen has an Adam's apple.
That's right.
That's the only time.
Hey, you're in Schmoeville. Who do we got? Hello.
Hey, this is Mario in South Orange County.
Hey, Mario, what's up, man? So, what do you got?
I was first of all, Rowdy scared the hell out of me with that whole skit, man. I was like, man, he was such a nice guy before this. What happened?
No, I'm a real asshole.
My God.
Yeah, I think that was the one between that. We also pranked Jeremy Johns one time with Katee Sackhoff. I got to say, this one took the title.
This one was a little more physical.
Yeah, so we got you too.
Oh my God, you scared the hell out of me because I was like, I always loved him because he was such a nice guy and everything, and I was like, what happened? My girlfriend's watching and she's like, you hit him? And but you already answered my question about the Rod Pod. I totally love that. I miss it and everything.
Thank you.
I just want to say hi and thanks.
I'm glad you did. And give your girlfriend a hug.
God bless you. She's taking a bath now, so we're all calm down.
Even better. Good time to hug.
I got 4 kids. I'm telling you. Now's the time. Go hug, baby.
Unless you don't want kids, then don't hug her. All right. Thanks for the call, dude. Roddy. We're with Roddy Piper, his son Colt, who we're going to talk to. Colt, let's get into Colt first because Colt Toombs, who's also now is a professional wrestler as well.
Go ahead. Sorry, my son.
You're my dad. I mean, come on.
But you're adopted, son.
Thank God. Explains so much.
All right.
It explains so much.
Now, the only thing that we really want you to, can you punch our intern, please? No?
Well, now I feel challenged. I have to do it harder than he did. I'm sorry, but.
So, Colt, you're starting your professional career as well.
Yeah, I'm actually just getting into that. I've been doing MMA since 2007, and I'm just now
undefeated. Correct.
Yeah, I'm just now getting into professional wrestling.
Awesome.
And Portland Wrestling Uncut, a show my dad's part of, and I'm being featured in. It based in Portland, Oregon, where I'm from, on Channel Fox, and that's where I'm getting a chance to start and try to do some professional wrestling. It's pretty exciting for me because it's a big transition.
Wrestling fans out there, keep an eye on this kid because, again, I've only worked with him so far like 4 or 5 times. He has just as much energy as his dad. He's really, they have good interactions. Like you can tell if him, and especially he also works with Scott Hall's kid, Cody Hall, and they'll be on that card as well.
We'll be in Chile together.
Keep your eye on these kids because I guarantee you they're going to be somebody to watch. All you fans out there.
I hope that Colt can control his bladder a little bit better than Roddy when he's visiting foreign.
That was a shot.
That was a shot. That was a shot.
I want to ask you this, Cole, because you're going into this business and you know that Roddy had, like Josh asked, who had the best 80s wrestling hair. What are we doing with the coif? Because we had this
Why
remember,
am I getting so much content about my hair lately?
we had this conversation.
You're going towards like the Bieber style thing.
I'm not. What?
I'm kidding. I just wanted to see him go.
Let me tell you folks this. If there's another fight
I'm
tonight,
trying to get punched by another some same blood.
I just met his dad. They're not his mom and dad. That Justin kid.
I was going to say him. I was like, that's got to be odd.
What a jerk. I'm kidding, man. I'm not. Yeah, but I'll get off it, I almost choked him out. I was real close to it. The guy's got a ball head. Nah, not the kid. He's throwing off.
It's Bieber's dad.
Bieber's dad was the jerk off?
Yeah, like he's got, he's been in the gym a year and he's got a bald head. He buffs, and like
nice Cadillac sun bottom.
Yeah, the thing was, I don't have that problem, but he's been drinking, and he was a fan, and he hits me once, He hits me again, but each time because I'm not responding.
Yeah.
He's getting alcohol guts, and I looked at the host of the party. Yeah, one more time, I'm gonna choke your ass out. I don't give a shit who you are. Is this a family show?
Fuck it.
Okay.
And it's gonna be one of
Schmoville. I'm sorry, Schmoville.
It's gonna be one of these things where oh yeah, he's not doing this thing. He's going out.
He's going out.
Speaking of Schmoville, let's get another call from him because we got him. The phone calls ablaze, and we're here with the hot rod. Who do we got in Schmoville?
Hey, it's George, guys.
Georgie, what's up, man?
You fucking podcast ever.
You got Georgie. You got a question for the hot rod?
I got a question. My family's originally from Belfast, and so I know some of the, I know the stories of the IRA and stuff. If there was ever a film that called for some IRA stuff, would you ever want to take part in something like that?
Right away.
Great question.
Away.
Thank you.
I would be in a film with the IRA in a second. If you know the history of why they separated and the Protestant and the Catholic, it's real serious. And they took all the land away in Northern Ireland to those people. Their homes.
Yeah.
And they took their homes away and made them work their homes. And it was very, and made them listen to bad music. And
that's our intro song. That's our intro song.
And the bagpipes, and from that, just right downhill. Yeah. But in knowing the history, I would love to do an IRA movie.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah.
How cool would that be if you had Michael Collins and my dad comes out like a Tommy gun?
Yeah, right.
Was that Rowdy Piper?
But you know what I liked about Michael Collins? And if you just check it out on YouTube, you see the real Michael Collins.
Yeah.
You see the real funeral, the whole 9 yards. Is the guy didn't really want to fight. He didn't want to hurt nobody.
It was like how William Wallace was pushed.
Very much. Yeah. Exactly.
Those are always the best heroes, too, in my opinion, in movies. It's like, it's the Bruce Willis, John McClane. It's like, I don't want to be in Nakatomi, but I am. I don't want to be in the studio, but the intern's an asshole. I got to take matters into my own hands.
I was just at the William Wallace Monument about 7 weeks ago.
In Edinburgh Castle.
We were in Scotland.
I was at Applebee's.
Yeah. That's your home country, right?
Yeah, man. And they were so kind, and they opened up Edinburgh Castle for us. I put him in the dungeon. I made him take his shirt off. It was great, man.
Wow.
There's a giant hole under a castle. Hey, cool. Take your shirt off and go down that hole.
Is that a head?
I gotta tell you, man. When you went to jail back then, that was a whole different deal. I bet you they didn't commit crimes twice back then.
Yeah, seriously.
Man, just a little rope hammock and, real close and... We were just, a lot of rats.
Well, someone who's also probably been thrown in his fair share of dungeons is James Bond, but he's gotten his way out.
Well, yeah, he's from the other side of the pond, I guess, right? Yeah. Or he's the British Isles.
Yeah.
And so how do you feel about this guy? He's walking around in a tux. He's the guy that seeks out action.
Here's the coolest part: the real James Bond is from Scotland.
Yeah, that's right. Connery's from Scotland.
Good call. Good call.
You know what? If either one of us were any sort of movie podcast host, we would have brought that up to you. Hey, Rowdy, Sean Connery's from your home country.
Well, I'm just trying to help,
We've been too busy drinking, plotting pranks for the last 2 hours. But you're right. Connery, the original Bond, who we decided, obviously, is the best Bond of all time.
Yeah, he's James Bond.
Did you see those movies a lot? Were you into those movies when you were growing up? The Goldfingers and the Dr. No?
Well, I tell you, I was tag team partners with one of the guys that was in the movie, James Bond. And his name was Tanaka. He played a character called Odd Job.
Yeah.
And I was his tag team partner when he came from that. But he tried to... Back in the day, like there was all territories, and like each territory would have like a black guy that would like Bobo Brazil, for instance. He would headbutt, and then they'd have a jap, and he'd like throw salt and stuff. And
one per territory.
Yeah, one per territory, like a novelty. And Tanaka came from the movie, and Fuji was working the territory, Master Fuji.
Yeah.
I have a graduate degree from the Master Fuji school. And so Tanaka went to the promoter and said, hey, listen, I'm hot off the movie, get rid of Fuji. So, time went on, like 4 days, and Fuji said, hey, brother. I guess all Japanese folks are from Hawaii. Hey, brother.
They all sound like
and so
Japanese guys eat a lot of pineapple. It's weird.
And he says to Tanaka, he said, brother, it's Saturday. He said, bring the family over and let's get to know each other, watch football, have a few beers, I'll cook some dinner. And Tanaka brought the family over, and Fuji made spaghetti and meatballs, and he had beer, and they watched it. And Fuji had a little tummy problem. He put like spaghetti and meatballs, and they ate up, and they're having a great time. He says, brother, Fuji said, brother, myself, I said, I got a special treat for you. And he brings out, it's a true story, silver platter with a silver dome. Puts it on the table and takes it off. And it was the head of their dog. They just ate their own dog. And he says, now, brother, you need to leave. And Tanaka was gone in 30 minutes.
Whoa.
True story.
Wow, that's like Italian mob stuff.
Man.
Oh, they got nothing on us.
You just feed it him and his whole family?
Yeah, everybody. Yeah.
What was in the spaghetti and meatballs?
Yeah. And you know what? I don't usually say this part because it really brings it for real, but the dog was a German Shepherd. I usually leave that part out, but so there was the head of the German, and and Tanaka left town, and he never did another James Bond movie. Coming back to the point,
wow,
true story.
Isn't that crazy?
Wrestling justice. We have our own in-house justice.
That's
system.
like Marky Mark Fierce shit right there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, anyway,
well, taking it on a light note.
So you didn't seem to. James Bond. Yes, I loved Sean Connery.
Was he your favorite? Was he your favorite?
Without a doubt.
Yeah. Because we were saying though, he said and again, you can kind of go back to wrestling on this one as well too. He's the guy that really that said kind of what Gorgeous George did as far as the big show, and it was the first guy to kind of transfer over the show.
Yes, but what Sean Connery was a bodybuilder back in the day when it wasn't cool, and also he did not shave down. And Jesse
me neither.
Ventura,
We both flaunt our chest hair.
There you go. You neither. And you and James got a lot in common. You're both human. You both wear hats now. And
both don't do movies anymore.
But Sean Connery got tired of doing movies because of the way he was treated.
Yeah, well, he passed down a lot of big roles. He passed down The Matrix. He passed. There was a couple.
I don't know who's a better James Bond. They're all great, but
when Roger Moore came out, because I wasn't alive when that happened, so it went from Connery to Roger Moore. Were people up in arms? Was it like a David Lee Roth, the Sammy Hagar situation, or were they cool with the new
he wasn't
Bond?
the first. He wasn't the first one to transfer over. Who was? Stick your face in there.
George Lazenby was the
George Lazenby. Right.
He was the first Bond.
No, he was to replace Connery.
Okay, but Connery was the first Bond.
Yeah. Connery was the first.
You see, and it's kind of like what's a movie like? Maybe say like Outlaw Josie Wales with Clint. Yeah. And if they made a second one, you can't change Clint.
Yeah.
And when they changed 007, then it lost its hump for me. You know?
What's funny is with that is that you have if you have a certain character like a James Bond, and if it works like this did obviously and spawned this huge franchise.
Yeah.
Then you got it, but a lot of times you're going to go, it didn't. Like a perfect example. It's not even of the same scale, but Major League, which was a baseball movie. I'm just an example.
Compare the switch of James Bond, to Wesley Snipes and to Omar Epps.
Because I'm comparing the characters. I'm comparing characters.
Yeah.
When you have because it doesn't work. It didn't work the same way because when you have a certain actor that can take the lead that has the charisma, I guess it worked.
But one thing that you just pointed out that I never thought of. I guess you got to give the other actors a whole lot of credit for having to follow Sean Connery.
Tough act to follow.
And pull it off.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but Sean Connery was a man's man, and he brought that for me to the screen. But I never thought about Pierce Bronson. Is that the guy's name?
Pierce Brosnan,
And Roger Moore.
Roger Moore. Have you seen any of the new ones with Daniel Craig?
I haven't. No, I have not.
I think you'd dig them.
They had such cool gadgets.
But
I drove the Bandit.
Did you really?
Yeah, Smokey Burt Reynolds is a friend of mine. I drove the Bandit.
Wow.
I got it up to 130. But then it started shaking pretty bad. But
you got it up to 130?
Yeah, man.
Where? What stretch of road were you
in Jupiter,
been to foreign
Florida.
planets.
No, Jupiter,
Did you go back to 1955?
Yeah, and I stayed at Bert's house. I met him first in Madison Square Garden. He announced me at WrestleMania 10, and we became really good friends. And
is he a crazy dude? Like,
I love him.
Yeah, I mean a good crazy. He seems like a good crazy.
Good crazy.
Yeah.
He goes to back out the Bandit, and he runs it right in the wall of the garage. Like, better you than me first. Now give it to me. And I took off, and then I got lost, because I went really fast.
Right. Yeah.
He didn't really leave breadcrumbs, and so it took me about an hour and a half to get home. And Burr wasn't bothered at all about it. He went to sleep.
We are here hearing amazing stories from the Hot Rod, Roddy Piper, and we're here with Colt Toombs, his son. Ken Napzok, a producer, Mark Ellis, myself, Kristian Harloff.
The three of our lives are getting
Josh
very,
the Intern.
very uninteresting. Listening to
I know, it's true. And we're here with Schmoeville. Let's take another call from Schmoeville. All right.
Citizens.
Yeah, we got a lot of good citizens. They love movies. They love the Hot Rod. Hey, you're in Schmoeville. Who do we got?
Hey, it's Leanne again.
Hey, Leanne, what's up?
Hey, all right. So I'm listening back to James Bond one more time. And, Roddy, maybe you'll appreciate this one. As soon as Sean Connery was done and they brought Roger Moore in, he made him so foppish at that point, don't you think?
Yeah.
Good question. Good. Thanks, Leanne.
I think that
a little more silly than Sean
silly,
Connery's a little more manly.
Because Sean Connery, he came up a hard way.
Yeah.
He was I'm not sure if it was in the ironworks over in Scotland. And he worked hard labor. And again, a bodybuilder in a time that wasn't cool. And he was a man's man. And he brought that to the role of James Bond. And so, even then, when he had little gadgets that went off, they were even cooler because it was him. And then once they went to the other Roger Moore, it's just you know what? He looked like a Hollywood actor doing it, as opposed to man's man, in just my humble opinion.
And I wonder if that's why now it seems to be that
it's going back to the roots.
Isn't it funny though? Now everyone's saying that their two favorite Bonds are Connery and Daniel Craig, who tend to be the two kind of grittiest. Look, Sean Connery still in the 60s. He's making movies. It wasn't as gritty as I can get today, obviously, but still gritty and still a manly man. That's just who the dude is.
Yeah.
You believe the guy's getting laid. That was the coolest thing about me. It's like you believe he's on a boat. You believe the girl's going home with him. You think George Lazenby? It's like, he's James Bond. Q better put some roofies in your travel bag.
Some roofies.
Mr. Bond, you simply put this into her glass of wine.
Watching Sean Connery was like 101 how to get laid, man. I was like, I want to do it just like Sean. Yeah,
that's right.
I did.
All right.
I got lots of gadgets.
Yeah, make sure you tweet us in some more questions for the Hot Rod.
Hi.
Hey, who do we got?
It's your favorite stalker, Megan, again.
Hey, Megan, what's going on?
That's cool.
Not too much. I just wanted to get y'all's opinion on the rumors that Idris Elba could be the new James Bond after Daniel Craig.
Fantastic question, Megan. Thank you. So, Idris Elba, who I became a huge fan of from The Wire, and he's also in a TV series that I have not seen yet that people rave about called Luther.
I haven't seen it.
And I'll bring him up a picture for you, Rod. And he is rumored to be the next Bond, and it's very interesting because he would be and he's British, and he'd be the first African American to ever play James Bond. And there's people are way more accepting. I'm very excited for it, and I think
people want the British accent more than it could be an Asian dude as long as he's got a British accent. Give him a shot.
Okay. Yeah, I can. I'd have to see it.
He's a smooth dude.
Is he smooth? You got to be smooth to be 007.
Absolutely.
Cleans up well.
Yeah. That's the job description.
That's it.
Smooth.
But the funny thing is, Daniel Craig is more of like a recovering alcoholic Bond than he is like a smooth Bond. When you look at him,
got the shakes.
He's just like, oh. It looks like he woke up on a beach every time the scene starts.
Well, it's almost like every drink that James Bond had from Dr. No up until this movie all hit Daniel Craig at 8 in the morning.
I never thought about that because when you think about it, Sean could really hold his liquor. He drank a lot.
Not this one.
Not this one.
He shows it. He's
Roddy,
hurt.
the new Bond movies are good, but every new Bond movie with Daniel Craig starts out with him at IHOP at 6 a.m. just wondering where the hell the night went.
Oh, I love that concept. I mean, I can really relate.
We are having an amazing time here with the legend Hot Rod. Who do we got in Schmoville right now?
Schmoville.
Hey guys, it's Matt.
Hey Matt, what's up, man?
Nothing. Well, first of all, before I get to my point, hate to break it. Idris Elba is all fan speculation. The producers are actually looking at Sam Worthington to replace Craig.
No, don't say that.
We got two more movies with Daniel Craig.
Don't
so
say
we'll
that.
enjoy those.
Sam Worthington.
Also, as far as Sean Connery goes, I think if you think he's the darkest Bond next to Craig, you really don't remember Timothy Dalton.
That's true.
Who's my favorite? I think
true.
he.
It's a good call.
He was the closest to the books because he was very dark and he was very calculating and cold, much like Craig. But he also had those one-liners which were very important for Bond to try and keep sane with all he's doing. So if you remember any of those, how do you feel about Timothy Dalton as Bond?
That's a great point. And to be honest with you, Matt, I don't really remember Dalton that much because he only did like 2 movies.
I saw both of those when I was a little kid.
Do you remember them being dark?
I don't remember them being dark. I remember being cool. It was my introduction to Bond. And I'm like, hey, guy's got gadgets. He's got to talk.
But I wonder though if it's one of those movies though, if you went back and revisited, if you'd be like, wow, you know what, Matt's right. This is a dark movie. I haven't seen the Dalton ones in so long.
I just learned there was a book.
Ian Fleming. That's what it's based off.
They were based
Ian
off
Fleming's
books,
novel. Yeah.
I've never read a book in my life. Not even the one I wrote. True. I'm not a good never. And I didn't even know it was a book.
Never used to finish bedtime stories. There's C-spot run.
You can go to the bathroom now.
Jeff the engineer's raising his hand. Roddy Piper gave him. Well, let me say before we have 5 minutes. But I also wanted to say we didn't talk about Ripped Apparel today.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's plug it
real quick. So, Rod, this is actually pretty cool too. We have Ripped Apparel is this T-shirt company that they do this is from like Top Gun, but mixed with Star Wars and the Empire.
Cool.
And Mark's got an Avengers one on, and what they do is that they
actually
do
who I voted for this year. I voted for Iron Man and Captain America to be president.
And that's the latest one. If you look on the screen right now, it's the shiny metal giant, which is the play off the Iron Giant.
Very nice.
What they do is they play off these movies and pop culture and stuff, and you get it's 24 hours to buy that shirt, and you can get them not just shirts, you can get sweatshirts or even iPad covers, whatever it is.
I'd wear one of those.
They're so cool, and you should. And I'll get you one.
I'll buy one. No, I'll buy one.
They're only $10, but if you go to Ripped Apparel,
such a deal.
That's true. Well, listen to this deal. It gets better. It gets better.
But wait, there's more. It's $10 when you go on there, but if you type in Schmoes in the coupon code SCHMOES, then you get $1 off. So
$9 for a T-shirt.
$9 for a T-shirt. Schmoes. How do you spell that?
Just SCHMOES.
MOES.
But you go to rippedapparel.com, and you should talk to them too because it'd be great for your show too.
I would love it. I'd wear their shirt in a second.
They're so cool, and I'll get you anything you want. Same thing with you, Colt.
And they're long lasting. Like Hulk Hogan couldn't rip one of those apart.
I would have had one on him. I would love to do that. I never thought of that. Switch his shirts up where he couldn't tear it off.
Rip it. Yeah, that'd be amazing.
Now you're talking.
Well, it wouldn't have worked in the sex tape. All right, so we're moving on.
It was a short tape.
All right, so we got 4 more minutes here, and I wish we had about another 3 hours. Isn't it crazy how fast it goes?
That was an hour?
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun in
Schmoville.
You like Schmoville? I like Schmoville.
You got to come back.
You got nice callers too.
They're super
nice
cool.
Callers in Schmoville. We're getting a water park next summer. We're looking forward to it.
Interns that like to get slapped. It's amazing. We're gonna take one more call. I love it. Yeah, it's all this time. Cool. Anyway, so look, we're here with Rowdy Piper, Mark, Katee will be back next week, Ken Napzok, Josh the Intern, Jeff the Engineer. Look, I have to tell you guys again, we have so much fun doing this show.
Yeah.
And it's because you guys out there, and please again, just share the show on Facebook and Twitter. We just want to get more you guys calling in, listening, iTunes, rate us, write a comment. It just helps.
Yeah, it'd be fantastic. And I know that I've been hawking this thing a lot, but I actually think it'd be kind of cool that because my CD comes out November 13th, Rod. My stand-up album comes out November 13th.
I love you.
So instead of me telling the children to go buy it, maybe I should hand it over over to you.
Absolutely.
And you should give them.
I want to tell you, Mark Ellis not only is one of the nicest men I have, I've been on stage with him. Get to the castle. We're talking Edinburgh here. Get your damn DVD. You're going to love it. I've been on stage with the guy. He's very, very great at improvising. He's got great stuff. He's a great guy. Thank you, my incredible family and friends, Damon, Deacons, Redskins, Van Halen, and Schmoeville. Schmoeville. The album is dedicated
USA!
to God. USA! Mark Ellis, get to the castle, buy a damn DVD and a T-shirt for $9 bucks.
All right.
What's your major malfunction?
That's right. Check out Roddy at the Rod Pod on RowdyPiper.com.
Yeah.
Colt Toombs, Josh the Intern, Mark Ellis, Schmoes Know, SchmoesKnow.com, YouTube, all that stuff. Next week, we're back. And rumor, I'm trying to get Andy Serkis on next week. I can't promise it. I'm trying. All right, guys, take it easy.
Bye-bye.